Hey, welcome to another episode of Midnight Quest, where tonight we will be continuing our hero's journey across the plains of death to the fallen city of Kalos to seek out and destroy one of Zargon's most feared commanders, the Witch Lord. Tonight we are going to be following a group of heroes into the Forbidden Caverns, tunnels that threaten to collapse as the heroes get ever closer to the Witch Lord himself. Now, we've got an interesting episode in store, and as always, if you are hanging out in the stream today, don't be afraid to throw something in the chat so I know you're there. We've already got plenty of people in here, and it's always good to hear from some new people as well. So we got Justin, we got Gohan, we got Zuli, we've got Mickle Moose. It's a miracle I made it here before I go to bed. Cody is here as well, something, yes. Fair enough. That's straight up. That's great. Yes. You've got some Hero Quest to play tomorrow as well, don't you, there, Mickle Moose? I do believe you're going to be rescuing old Sir Ragnar tomorrow, I bet. Rukoro is here as well. Hey, everybody, good to see you. If anybody in here, especially if you're new and you've never said anything before, if you are ever confused about anything that is going on, don't be afraid to ask questions. We're all super friendly here. Nobody's gonna bite you, and we'll all explain what in the world is going on. So if you've got any suggestions or questions about lore, questions about game mechanics, or just want to chat, it's all good. Throw it in there. And Rukor's on a 7-stream streak. Awesome. Nice. Justin says, if you're ever confused, don't worry, we are too. Same here. Okay, let's get into what's going on. Yeah. Sully says, oh, some of us would bite you. Oh, fair enough. But we're behaving for now. Cody says, I might bite, depends on what you do. Yes. That's going to be a channel points redeem soon. New viewers get bit. So we had a really weird episode last night. Okay, before we can get into the quest tonight, we have to talk about why it's set up and ready to go already, because that is unusual. Right now, normally, we're picking the heroes that are going on the quest, getting them set up with all the stuff they have, and then getting into it. However, all of that is done because of the weird episode that we had last night. Last night ended up being a mashup of all three of the things that we do on this channel. We finished a quest. Savannah came down here and did that in person as well. Yeah, no kidding. Zuli says last night's episode was an ADHD episode. Yes. Cody says you could probably do some kind of command like bite then. Yeah, at someone. Yeah, that would be great. So we finished the quest that Justin and I started on Tuesday night. And then we set up this quest, but instead of starting it, we decided last second to flip-flop so that Savannah could paint the new dwarf hero. And so then it was kind of half paint stream, half hangout creative stream, because I was also setting up some of the new channel point redeems while she was painting. Just so that we could wait to actually start the quest tonight as we kind of normally would, because it just felt weird to start episodes being like half and half, finishing one and starting another. No fun. So let me go ahead and show you guys who is going on this quest. We'll talk about what they have, the spells that they got and what they have in their inventories, and then we'll just jump right into the quest. So instead of picking the heroes tonight, we are just looking straight at our team, and the team is Valerna the Elf, who is one of our OG heroes who was in the very first ever quest, Tiaga the Warlock, and of course, anytime we have Tiaga, we also must have her demon form, which she has a spell which allows her to transform into. We have Morkai the Wizard, one of the fairly new heroes, but definitely not brand new. Who is brand new, however, is Rana the Dwarf. So this is our newest hero, replacing the fallen dwarf Hogard. Rana is joining the team and going on this will be her very first ever quest. Painted brand new. That paint job was just finished earlier today. Justin says, looks like Dave Grohl. Yeah. And then I think chat voted on her name, all that good stuff. Sully says, I want all of them, by the way. Yes. Oh, gotta love it. Yes, they're all fantastic, without a doubt. So hopefully, Rana's first quest will go okay, because she's jumping in at the end of a quest book when the difficulty is kind of ramped up. So hopefully the other heroes will protect her, or she'll be good without needing protected. Either way. Okay, let's talk about character sheets. We've already got all that stuff out, but Savannah kind of arranged it the way she normally does, and so I'm going to rearrange it just a little bit so that things are where I expect them to be. So on our character sheets, which are on this table right over here, we have pretty much every bit of information about these 4 heroes that we need. How many dice they use for attack and defense, how many body points they have, how many mind points they have, how many spells they take into the quest, what their equipment is, how many body points they have left, how many items they're taking into the quest, what their personality generally is, and the amount of skill set points they have. Yeah, yes, Justin says, Tiago says, I'm the devil, I love metal. Yes. Yeah, okay, I understand what you're saying now, but yeah, 100%. The demon form looks like the devil character from the Pick of Destiny, the 100%, which was played by Dave Grohl. Okay, Tiago the Warlock. Oh yes, we also need to determine the difficulty level. So Tiaga's been on 10 quests, Valerna's been on 11, Morkai's been on 8, and this is Rana's first one. So this is gonna be really weird. Oh, Cody says, I forgot to say it in the Discord earlier, but there were enough water buffalo that yes, everyone had one. Mine was fast to the food, someone else's was slow. I laugh. Oh, that is just, I mean, that's perfect. It's literally perfect. Now, if they show you a Cebu and there's an angry one and a sick one and a mute one, that'll be really impressive. Okay, so we need to add up the total number of skill set points that this particular set of 4 heroes has and compare that to a difficulty chart on the wall behind me, which might make all the monsters in the quest harder. Being that we have 2 of the newer heroes, I very much doubt we're going to be super hard. Barbara Manatee, oh man. Yeah, we're hitting all of the old VeggieTales references tonight. We're doing it. Okay, so Tiaga's got 20 skill set points. Valerna has 22. Morkai has 16. And obviously Rana has none. So we're only at 58 total, which, yeah, puts us actually kind of at the bottom of level 2 difficulty, which is monsters have original printed stats, boss monsters have an extra body point, and I don't believe there is a boss monster tonight. Yeah, so really we're just kind of playing monster stats as normal because we've got 2 of the kind of newer heroes, which is probably fine. Okay, now for Tiaga. She is carrying the Talisman of Lore, Potion of Healing, and 2 Potions of Magic Resistance. She also has 4 spells into this quest. Her 3 normal warlock spells, which are Fear, Dark Wings, and Demon Form. We will cover what those do when and if she uses them, just so that there's not too much explanation. She also has the Tier 2 fire spell, Flaming Sword, which is not a spell that we've actually seen be used yet, so that will be exciting. Zuli says, what do you mean there wouldn't be a boss monster tonight? Yeah, no, there's not always a boss monster in the quest. So a lot of times there is, but tonight there is not a boss monster. Or at least, Zuli says there will be. Yeah. Well, especially once you there shows up. Now, Ragnar's not on the quest, so you there will probably not be raining down terror and pain and suffering. But there will still be some crazy monsters, without a doubt. Justin says, I remember the song mostly. I don't remember the episodes much. I remember Jericho and the Chocolate Factory and the one where there were lions in a pit, something, and they ordered pizza. Yeah. The rumor weed. Yeah. Yeah, I'm kind of the same way. I watched a lot of those episodes a lot, but I don't remember too much about them. I still recognize all the characters. I'm feeling pretty confident I would be able to accurately name most of the characters if I saw them. Valerna, the elf, is carrying a Potion of Healing, the Ring of Return, a Heroic Brew, an Elixir of Life, and a toolkit for some Trap Disarm. Looks like Tiaga also has Toolkit Disarm unlocked just naturally. As far as spells, Valerna also has 4 spells. Swift Wind, a Tier 2 spell called Rapid Movement, Rock Skin, and the Spell of Darkness, Arrows of the Night. So we've got some really interesting spells going into the quest. Zuli says, justice for Ragnar, super dead. Yes, exactly. We are keeping him alive. Will be interesting to see how that progresses. Morkai, the wizard, is carrying quite a bit of potions in here. 2 potions of healing, an airwalk, and 2 potions of defense. And Cody, don't forget to remind me to use those. Chat, if you notice Mordecai in a particularly difficult battle, remind me to use those potions of defenses if you think about it, because for some reason I am really bad about thinking about using those potions, and so then the heroes end up hoarding them. As far as spells, Mordecai's got 8 total. This card's a little messed up. Heal Body, 2 Genie spells, a Ball of Flame, a Fire of Wrath, a Rock Skin, Sleep, and Swift Wind. So he's got a pretty solid loadout, even though it's all just basic spells. There we go. Make sure I can see all of the spell names. And then finally we have Rana, the new female dwarf. I'm probably going to forget her name a whole bunch. And she has no items, she has no spells, she also hasn't gained any skills yet since she hasn't been on any quests. She was, however, given all of Hogard's stuff. Oh man, what's going on? Justin says, you silly little pickle, you silly little peas. You think walking around will bring the city to its knees. It's awesome. Walls of Jericho, ha, but in the hot, hot sun, perhaps you will become dehydrated. Yeah. Zully says, he better tank well. Rukuro says, I know that feeling. I do that in games a lot. Yeah, it's just the potion of defense for me for some reason. I never think about it. Yeah, that is a reference right there. And Rukuro says, I forget I have stat boosting items. Yeah, yep. I think about the defense potions. I think about the strength potions. I think about the healing potions. It's for some reason those defense ones that never occur to me. Okay, so Rana is still pretty crazy good stats-wise just because we were able to, well, thanks to the chat voting that we should retcon what happened in the episode, we actually gave Gramina all of Hogard's stuff, and then Gramina passed those things on to Rana. So she has a battle axe, a crossbow, a helmet, and plate mail, which means she's got 4 close range attack, 3 long range attack, 4 defense dice. So we'll be good. Justin says, Rukuro cheats too. Mostly he doesn't read cards well enough sometimes, but we joke it's that he cheats. I always worry I spend too much time reading cards. Okay, I think with that, we are ready to get the music started, read the quest text, and then get started on this quest. Rukuro says, what is this reading you speak of? Okay, let me start our background music up. Okay, as I'm sure all of you know by this point, but I'll go ahead and say it anyway, just in case anybody doesn't know, we are in book number 3 out of 14 books in this first campaign. This is quest 8 in book number 3. This is called the Forbidden Caverns. No man nor woman has ever entered the Forbidden Caverns. Even Lortome can tell little of what lies before you. It seems that the passages are filled with the walking dead, mindless servants of Zargon. You must also be wary of the caverns themselves, for they are ready to collapse at any time. You must find the wooden exit door to continue. So this one's a little bit simpler than some of the ones we've seen recently. It's just find the exit and get out. Justin says when you look at strange markings, usually in ink, and you hallucinate what they mean in your mind. Yeah, if that's not the most straight up accurate description of reading, I don't know what is. There we go. All right, let us get into it. So we are starting on a staircase in the central room. We have a door going out to the north right there. We got our 4 heroes here on the staircase ready to go. And because we are starting in a room, we have a whole bunch of searching that can be done right off the bat. Tiaga is going to be starting. She doesn't have any particular searching thing she likes better than another, so her options are traps, secret doors, treasure, or cast demon form. And she is going to start the quest off tonight right by searching this room for traps and finding none. Kind of nice. No traps in this room. I see. I've got the order mixed up just a little bit. I'm going to fix that for the next turn. Tiaga's second action, all the same things minus trap searching, so secret doors, treasure, or demon form. And she is going for treasure. She's doing the 2 good ones. Let's see what Tiaga finds. She found a potion of warmth in this room. Now, this is something we've covered a couple of times. This isn't something that we're going to need right away. This becomes more handy in the Frozen Horror expansion, which is one of the later books, so we can sell it. It does actually heal 1 body point right now, so if they get desperate, she's got this thing that she can use. But if she's still got it by the end of the quest, we'll probably just sell it for some extra gold. Okay, Valirna the elf, who actually should have been first, but my cards weren't in the right order down here, so she'll go second on this turn, and then we'll fix that. She has secret doors or leave the room. And she is going to leave the room. Or she's going to go 1, 2, 3 towards the door. Real good, Valirna. I guess that means she can go ahead and do secret doors for a second action. It's the only thing she can do, and there are no secret doors in this room. So that taps us out on searching, so Mordecai the Wizard is just going to be headed out. 6. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's see what's out that door. Cody says small steps are steps, I guess. Yeah, that's very true. Valirna is being very cautious for some reason. Okay, out in this hallway, we've got a few interesting things going on. We've got a wall here. We've got a door here. The passage also continues that way. And then we also go up that double wide hallway and find a wall here and a skeleton at the end of that hall. Just there. Okay, Mordecai, are we gonna stop here to search for traps? No. No, he says, we must attack. How far away is he? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So he can actually, if he goes one more up, that skeleton is now in range for him to attack. And luckily that particular square is not trapped, so that's not really a big deal. Mordecai is in possession of a redwood wand, which gives him 3 long-range attack dice. He fires a blast of energy at the skeleton, hitting it with a 1. The skeleton blocks the attack. Oh boy, even though we're not up on the difficulty chart, we might be getting some bad luck dice rolls like Justin had. Okay, and Rana, the new dwarf, her very first action in Hero Quest. She is moving 8. Ooh, Justin says, my wife made some good beef and broccoli and you are all jealous. Oh, absolutely. We didn't really have supper today. We had my youngest son's birthday party, kinda. We just kind of invited some family. And so the supper was just kind of like vegetable trays, and there was like a pepperoni and crackers and cheese tray, that sort of thing. Really all we did for supper. So I'm definitely jealous. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's see if she is gonna stop and search for traps. No. Okay, so what is she doing? 5, is she headed towards the door or towards the skeleton? She's going towards the skeleton. That is unfortunate because there is indeed a trap right there. That's not a good first turn right there. There is a falling boulder trap right here. As Mentor warned in the quest text, there are a whole bunch of falling boulder traps in this quest because the tunnels are trying to collapse. They have got to learn to search for traps before they walk into an area. Okay, first off, we gotta roll 3 dice. Every skull she rolls on this is damage she just took from these falling rocks. Okay, only 1, which is not bad. That drops her to 9. Also, a falling boulder trap forces the hero forward and puts an impassable wall right there, and that ends her turn. Cody says, I've had Amish buffet 2 nights in a row. I'm not jealous of much for food this weekend. Yeah, that's gotta be good stuff. Absolutely. Rukora says, I slept a good amount of the day. I need to make food soon. Yep, can't blame you there. I also would have if we didn't have kids waking us up at whatever time they determine is good. Okay, skeleton is unfortunately going to attack Rana. Let's see how good she defends. Now, she is a dwarf, so she's naturally good at defense, but let's just see what happens. Skeleton swings its scythe, hitting her with a critical hit of 2. Rana defends both. Okay, maybe she's going to be a defense master. And we are back to the front of the party. So we are now starting with Valirna the elf. who didn't go first last time, but should have. No more searching to be done in this room. She's moving another 3. 1, 2, and she can't even take the third movement, and because of that wall, she also can't shoot at the skeleton. So the only thing that she can do is search either one of these hallways, either the one leading towards the door or the double wide, for either traps or secret doors. So she can do either thing, being that she is directly adjacent to the one square which is shared by both hallways. So, traps in the double wide, secret doors in the double wide. Traps in the short hallway, secret doors in the short hallway. What is she searching? She is doing traps in the short hallway. Now there are no traps in this area, but I am going to go ahead and put down one more wall just so that we can properly define the area that is being searched, which is from this square to that square. No traps there. Okay, Tiaga the Warlock, are we casting Demon Form or moving? She is indeed going to go ahead and cast her Demon Form spell. The Warlock ignores pit traps and may roll 1 extra attack dice for close and long range attacks. This spell is broken when the Warlock suffers 1 body point of damage. Regain this spell when you reduce a monster's body points to 0. There's almost no reason for her to not be in Demon Form all the time, because even though it's easy for her to lose it, it's like really easy for her to get it back. So now that she's done that, let's get her moving. She's also not moving very fast. 1, 2, 3, and she can't go 4 or 5. Okay, Mordecai the Wizard, we've already determined that he is fighting that skeleton. However, seeing a trap trigger right in front of his face is surely going to mean that he's going to search for traps, right? Okay, it is. His first action, searching for traps in the double wide hallway, and rather unfortunately, the trap that Rana stepped on is the only trap in that hallway. So for his second action, we're going to go ahead and move him just a little bit. We're going to move him there to put him in range of the skeleton. He can't actually attack this turn, but he'll be ready for it. Cody says Demon Form took a lot out of her tonight. Lack of sleep or something. Yeah, no kidding. Like all of the rest of us. And we are to Rana now, who is going to make her first attack of Midnight Quest, swinging the battle axe of Hogard Redmantle at the skeleton. And look at that. Okay, maybe this is going to go good after all. So her first turn, she gets hit by a boulder trap. However, on her second turn, her first ever attack, she gets a skilled strike, meaning that skeleton is super dead. Get out of here, skeleton. That is right, Rukoro. Absolutely. Justin says, I'm having a lot of audio issues lately. I'm not sure if it's my interface going bad or if it's Windows just being Windows. Oh, definitely something to check out. I hate audio issues for obvious reasons. Cody says, I got 2 hours of sleep last night before starting off our day at 7:30. Ouch. Yeah, I don't think I got to bed last night until about 4, and then the kids woke up at about 10:30. So, I mean, I got more than you, but still not a good amount. Okay, and we're on a second action, either movement or secret door search. It's going to be secret door search. I think, honestly, that's the better option anyway. There aren't any, but moving when you don't have another action is a little eh. Okay, no monsters on the board now that that skeleton is dead, so we are back to Valyria. Now, we've also pretty clearly indicated that both Mordecai and Rana are going to go that way, so let's send Valyria and Tiaga off to this door. She knows there's no traps out here in this hall. Another 3! That's insane, right? That's 3 turns in a row that she's got a 3. 1, 2, 3. At least she actually was able to do something with it, but my gosh. Justin says, most of the time if I unplug and plug in my interface, I'm good, but this time I had to restart my PC. Ouch. Her legs are sore. Give her a break. Yeah, clearly. That is right there is the exact sort of consistency that is so interesting to me, considering the number of things in this that are randomized. There should be no reason that a character should roll the same roll 3 turns in a row, regardless of what that roll is. So it's just crazy. Cody says, maybe she walked a lot today before the quest. She must have. Okay, so she can't go into this room, but she is looking into it. So again, we might as well have her search something in the room, or she could also do secret doors in this hallway. So we'll do secret doors in the hallway, traps in the room, secret doors in the room. And she is going for traps in the room. That's smart. I'm glad she did that. There are no traps in that room. but they need to be doing that. Okay, Tiaga. Let's see if Tiaga gets a better roll and can actually go into that room. Yeah, I'd say that'll do it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, as always, because there are no monsters in this room and no other doors, there's actually no reason to step on anything other than that first square unless there is a secret door. What is Tiaga like? Oh, right, she doesn't have any sort of specific thing that she likes searching for. Her character sheet is first too. Okay, I'm gonna flip the character cards back around. We're gonna flip Tiaga back to being first. Sorry, I keep going back and forth on that. At least we're not at a point that it's gonna damage anything about the quest. It's not making anything unfair. Tiaga, are we searching for secret doors or treasure? It's gonna be secret doors. And there are none in that room. This is actually a dead end. Okay, Morkai. Off down the hallway he goes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Actually, we'll just go ahead and move him his full roll because he does know that there are no traps on either of those two squares. We need to populate this hallway now. Can we get him on camera? There he is. So he is now looking down this upper hallway right here. And the only thing new that I have to put down is another skeleton hanging out on a corner. We got a good old redhead skeleton right here. Rugoro says that room is pointless. Yeah, you're right. 100%. It's there for a treasure search and literally nothing else. There are actually a lot of near to empty rooms in this quest, which is odd. Most of the monsters are kind of bunched up, and then a bunch of the rooms are left to be sort of, you know, arguably pointless. Morkai, what are we doing here? He's out of movement, so he definitely cannot fire at that skeleton. So it's either going to be searching for traps or secret doors in that new hallway that he has just entered. So let's see what he is doing. Does he have any sort of specific thing? He likes secret doors, so we'll give him that. Traps, secret doors, secret doors. Yes, indeed, it is going to be secret doors. Are there any secret doors down that hallway? I am afraid there are not. Justin says it wasn't pointless. It was a rectangle. It had at minimum 4 points. Yeah, this is a fair point. Okay, and that takes us to Rana, who is also headed down that hallway, the same as Morkai. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Actually, is she going to stop right there and search for traps? No. 6. She also is not in range of the skeleton, so she's going to search for traps now. There are no further traps down that hallway. Okay, that brings us to the monster's turn, which means the skeleton is headed towards Rana. I don't think it's going to reach her, but it's going to start that way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Nope. So it's a-coming. Okay, we might as well stick with this camera angle. We've got all 4 heroes on this. So, Tiaga, now, in the blue room. The only thing left to do is treasure search. We might as well do it. What does Tiaga find in the blue room? Oh, this room was pointless. Tiaga accidentally triggers a spring-loaded mechanism which crushes a glass vial and showers her in a stinging purple liquid. It's poison. Roll 1 combat dice. If it lands on a skull, you lose 1 body point. On any other result, you are unharmed. If this is a skull and she loses that demon form, that's going to be really upsetting. Yeah, okay. So Tiaga takes a point of damage, bringing her down to 9 body points total, and unfortunately destroying her demon form, at least temporarily, until she can destroy a monster, consume its essence, and get that ability back. Yeah. Justin says, hazard chest, I missed it. Yep. And Cody says F in the chat. Oh, I make that joke in real life all the time, and I joked with Savannah that I was going to be making F in the chat jokes on Midnight Quest all the time, and I haven't, so that's actually really funny to see in there. For the first time, we've got an F in the chat. I just heard her laugh. Okay, that takes us to Valerna. Who again got a 3? This is wrong, right? This can't be right. That's insane. Merlin says essence, haha, reminds me of Dark Crystal. Yeah, good to see you, Merlin. Hope you're doing good. 1, 2, 3, useless. I wonder if that's gonna be this whole quest. That's wild, that's 4 turns in a row now. She is so afraid of this quest, yeah. Well, she was on the very first quest of the entire thing with Hogard. So Hogard was also on the very, very first quest. So she's got to be a little bit perturbed, you know, like lore-wise, that one of her, you know, oldest friend adventuring companions died while they were trying to do this, and none of them have died. Other than in that very first quest, the wizard character died, and those are the only 2 deaths we've had. Okay, we are now at Morkai. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and actually, let me count that again. I didn't feel confident about that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, that skeleton is in range, and he doesn't even have to move. So Morkai pulls out his redwood wand and fires, hitting that skeleton with a 2. The skeleton does not defend. Out of there. Yes, Merlin says, you too, man. Thanks. Thank you indeed. I have been greatly enjoying the last couple of quests, considering that the hard drive thing at the studio has confused me pretty badly, and I'm not really sure how to proceed with that or what's going to happen with it. So playing Hero Quest has been a nice solace from that. Justin says, yeah, I messed up and killed someone. We mourned the loss. Can we stop making me feel bad? Oh, geez. Okay, darn it. Okay, I knew I was going to do that. Merlin says, absolutely. I just about called Morkai Merlin. It happens every time. Okay. Morkai is moving 7 now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There we go. And we are now at Rana, who's only moving 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Nothing left to be searched in this hallway, so unfortunately we're just going to be doing a big old bunch of rolling until the heroes get to the next point that there's something interesting happening. Okay, back to Tiaga. Let's get her out of that room and moving. 9. You know what's also pretty hilarious is that Valerna has 2 spells that let her move faster. Well, I'm starting to think we might want to cast them just so that she's rolling a normal amount. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Tiaga is headed down that hallway at a decent speed. Valerna. Is this going to be a 3 again? No. Finally, Valerna gets a 10. Okay. Oh, we're getting an ad. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. So she is up in the hallway. Just says Valerna and Ragnar are never seen together anymore. That's true. Well, look, if she was traumatized from Hogard's death and she wasn't there, imagine if the next time Ragnar's on a quest, Valerna goes, and you there finally gets her way, and Ragnar dies. Valerna's also just going to exit Hero Quest and not play anymore. She's like, I can't do this. This is too stressful. I wonder if that's the only quest they've ever been on together. The second one that you played. Was it the second one you played? I think, or maybe it was the first one. Might have been in the very first one that you played, actually, where that was happening. Morkai. Probably getting to the next hallway, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes, he did indeed get to that corner. What's going on in this hallway? Holy crud, we can see all the way to the other end of the board here. And only a couple of things to put down, too, which is kind of ridiculous. There's a door right here. Justin says, pretty sure it's the first. Yeah, you're right, because the second one you did was the Halls of the Dwarven Kings, which just had that long walk and then the central room and then the secret door. Cody says, Valerna's just going to go to the Adventurers Guild and sell everything. Yeah. So we had a door there, and then all the way at the other corner of the board, we have another corner skeleton. So we got a whole bunch of corner skeletons in this quest. Okay, and Morkai is actually out of movement on that corner there, so again, we might as well force some sort of search. and he likes secret doors. So traps, secret doors, and he is going for secret doors. No surprise there. However, for the entire map, or this entire hallway, from his position to the skeleton's position, no secret doors. Justin says, once again, I'm just sitting here and I could be working on something while I watch, although I did find one of 2 clips I'm gonna make into shorts tomorrow. Nice, yes. I'm bad about that too. I sit and watch YouTube instead of doing things that would actually be helpful. Not all the time, but more than I should. And Rana, who is no longer on camera. There she is. Rana is moving 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. Right there. She is blocked by my big stupid face. There she is. Okay, same thing for her. The skeleton is way out of range. She definitely couldn't hit it. She's not close enough to the door to open it. We'll go ahead and have her search traps. We actually should have stopped her earlier to ask if she was going to stop and search for traps. Didn't think about it. There are no traps in this hallway. Okay, so that takes us to the monster's turn, and all we've got on the board is this skeleton. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, who is going to be slowly but surely making his way up towards the heroes. In the meantime, we are now at Tiago the Warlock. Let's get this camera out of the way. Tiago the Warlock is right there. Oh, come on, Tiago. We got a roll marathon right here. You got to roll better than that. 1, 2, 3, 4. Justin says, I need to work on my quest book more. House could use some minor rearranging. My cat has taken to being a terror and jumping up my Star Wars Legos. Oh, ouch. Yep. I did a little bit of house cleanup. Well, I was cleaning up our sun porch, which is why I put in the Discord that I found that the sociopath spider. Cody says, Monday when I get to work, I'll do a bunch of clips after I put out some fires from crazy stuff happening while I'm away. Oh, yes, absolutely. Just in case anybody's in here watching that is not in our Discord, or if you are in our Discord and you happen to miss this, if something happens here that you think is clip worthy, 100% do that. So Justin is on the lookout for that sort of stuff because he makes our daily YouTube shorts, which are now also being posted on Twitch and Facebook Reels as well. But he's looking for some extra stuff other than just stuff he finds funny. And I don't want to pause the stream to clip stuff myself. So if anybody happens to see something, definitely clip that for him. He's still going to handle making the short, but if you clip it, it'll make it easier for him to find it later. So thanks in advance, everybody who's, if anybody happens to do that, and thanks to Cody for volunteering. Okie dokie. Oh crud, what were we doing? Tiago just moved. Valerna is, thankfully we've bullied her into making better movement rolls, I guess. Or I have. I guess nobody in the chat was making fun of her, it was just me. Valerna moving 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Nothing she can do in the new hallway from that position, but at least she's in the new hallway. That's also the second turn in a row she's rolled 10 now. That takes us to Morkai, who's only moving 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then let's see, is he going in the door or is he concerned about the skeleton? He's going in the door. Let's open the door into the blue room and see what we've got here. We have 2 additional doors. One door here. And another door here. Also in this room is 5 zombies and a mummy. See what I mean about the monsters being kind of bunched up? 1, 2, 3, 4. There's a 5th zombie right there. So we've got zombie and then 3 zombies. Darn it. That's not Jelly Zambi, by the way, but it's close. It's another terrible paint job of mine right there. And there, and then we've got 1 mummy here. Oh, nice. So Justin's going to Columbus with his daughter all day. Awesome. That's right, because she just had the birthday. Was that today? I think it was, right? Just gonna need some good room-wide attacks. Yes. Yeah, I don't think anybody's got one this time, but you're right, that would be handy. Oh man, time flies, dude. I remember when she was a baby. Crazy. That was the first time I ever met you, was at a Right Way to Nowhere show, and you were holding a baby, and it was her. Okay, now Mordecai does have a movement left, but let's see what he's gonna do. Looks like he is prone to battle rather than searching for traps first. So is he gonna search for traps or battle? He is indeed going to battle. Is he gonna step in there or is he gonna do long range? I mean, I think we might force him long range here because not only does he hit harder long range, but it would be suicide to walk in there, right? That would be stupid strategically. So let's have him just go ahead and fire at the mummy. Justin says, yep, and my dad got arrested. Really? I don't think I knew about that. Cody says, that sounds like a story. Yeah, that was at Goodrich Park in Winchester. An outdoor show that we played. What do we got here? Mordecai fires a blast of energy from his Redwood wand at the mummy, hitting it with a 2, which is indeed enough to kill it if it doesn't defend anything. And it doesn't. Look at that. 4 defense dice and not a single black shield in sight. The heroes might not struggle too much tonight by the looks of it. He was drunk at the park. Ah. I don't think I ever met your dad, but from the stories that you've told me about him, that sounds about right. Dustin says about 3 bands in. You might not have been there yet. Yeah, that we tended sometimes not to get there until it was our turn to play. Back then, I was still working at Walmart second shift, so sometimes I couldn't leave until it was like right on top of it. Ah, there you go. You there says, no, these heroes may pass. Yeah, none of these are particularly offensive heroes. We are at Rana, the new dwarf, and we need to determine kind of the same thing with her as we did with Mordecai. Is she going in the room, or is she headed for this skeleton down here? So first off, let's see where she could go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So if she goes for the skeleton, she's still going to have to shoot at it. So there's almost no reason for her to walk all the way down there. So room or skeleton? She is indeed going for the skeleton. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's place her here. That way she can see what's down this hallway, as well as she can fire at the skeleton. We'll take care of the skeleton first. She pulls out her crossbow, knocks an arrow, and fires, hitting the skeleton with a 2, which it does not block. Go ahead and reset my skeleton drawers then. Cody says, I've been drunk in a park. I was homeless at the time, but drunk in a park nonetheless. Yeah. Oh, yeah, and we need to see what's down this hallway. So this hallway here, we already know about one wall down here. There is indeed another wall like that. Believe it or not, there's no door into that central room because we would have already seen it. Another door up here into the green room, as well as a door into this yellowish brown room. Justin says, it was a breast cancer benefit show, I believe, like an all-day event, like 15 acts or something, lots of people. My dad gets annoying when he's drunk, so someone probably called it in. Yeah, that makes sense. You there says, can I cast a dread spell when they're chilling in the entrance lifts? Ah, yeah. I mean, depending on, yeah, I'd say so. I would say yeah. Maybe not when they're in like the literal entrance room, like when we have a separate thing and there's a door into the quest, but when they're on the stairs, yeah, totally. I let monsters attack them if they're on the stairs, so I'd say they're not safe there. Okay, it is now the monster's turn, and of course we've got a room full of monsters. For sure, one of those zombies is attacking Coolio, yes. One of those monsters is gonna attack Mordecai for sure, so let's get a zombie up over there. Cody says, I've been drunk at Danny's staring at the studio from outside before. I became the guy I hated growing up. Yeah. Zombie attacks Mordecai and hits him with a 1. I am so glad. Blocked. I am so glad that place is essentially closed now. I don't ever want to wish failure on anybody for any reason. but that place has caused us so many issues over the years. The people who own the place have caused us issues, but more than that, just having a music studio that is directed kind of particularly at teaching kids how to play music, and having a whole bunch of just drunk people that would rather be outside than inside has always been an issue. And as soon as they hear music, they're trying to knock their way into the doors and push their way in, and they're always just, ugh. Anyway, yeah. They're not officially closed, Cody. So Cody said that I didn't know that. They decided to rebrand, right? So they renamed the place. It's not even called Danny's Place anymore. It's called Cheers of Greenville. Jeez. And they missed their grand opening date by, I think, 3 months now. They set a grand opening date for March, I'm pretty sure, and they just straight up missed it. They hopped right over it. And there is, I don't see people going in and out of it anymore. I used to hear construction sounds. I don't hear construction sounds anymore. I think they've just abandoned it. I don't know. Cody says the amount of times we didn't have the door fully locked and drunk people came in while we were recording. Yeah, all the time. So annoying. Merlin says vomit everywhere too. Yep. Mm-hmm. There was a time that my other friend Justin, so not Justin Pollitt, but another friend of ours, Justin, who is the bass player in Right Way to Nowhere, he and I were recording one night, and it was late at night. It was probably a Friday night or something. And we stopped the take because we were hearing like a water running. And both of us were like, where's that water coming from? I'm going to have this zombie move out this door, by the way. And finally, Justin happens to look at the front door of the downstairs where we were, and we're seeing water come in the door. And then we realized there was a drunk guy standing in our doorway peeing on the door. And the door is old and it doesn't quite like fill the entire door frame. So the water was just like, the pee was kind of like coming in. Just sad. Get yourself together, man. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, the zombie didn't quite make it out to Rana. Okay, we'll leave that there. That's the only other one who could get there. Justin says, hey, it kind of works because it's a small town, so it's likely everybody does know your name. Yeah. Merlin says, yeah, haha, yeah. That was one of the most maddening. And what were we gonna do? We just let it happen because the only thing we could have done was open the door, and then he's being on us. You know, clearly he didn't know what he was doing. Oh, that's right, yeah. Savannah called the cops on a girl who came out of the door and squatted in front of the upstairs door and peed everywhere as well. Yeah. Sad. Just absolutely sad. Okay, Tiaga. I'm glad she rolled a 12 because she is way behind everybody. She's over here. Yeah, that girl got arrested. The cops went into Danny's and took her out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I'm sure I moved her off camera there. There we go. So she didn't quite get anywhere, but she's a little closer to the action now. And Danny's has a public bathroom, by the way. So, like, why were people peeing on my building? Cody says there was one night I got into a fight with a dude trying to pee on that door. Took it down the block. The guy brought 2 people with him. My friends went through Box Rock's window. Oh, cops showed up. Good times. Yeah. Good in quotation marks there. Let's see. Valerna. 1, 2, 3. And then we might as well just have her stand here and she can fire. She can kind of help. She can help Mordecai there. What's our defense looking like? Rana actually has the best defense of everybody here. I ask because Valerna has a rock skin spell. Zombies aren't enough of a threat to use it in the middle of combat, I would say. What's this Arrows of the Night do? Any monster in the spellcaster's line of sight, magical bolts will inflict 5 body points of damage. The monster may defend using 5 defense dice. Okay, so that's kind of overkill for a zombie. Let's just have her shoot normal. So she puts an arrow in her short bow and fires at the zombie, hitting it with a 1, which it does not block. Dustin says, our bar is next to the police station, so not much going on in the bar. When the Legion was open, we had quite the triangle of business. Bar next to the bail bond and the jail across the street. I remember that. Oh, we played there so many times. Yeah, the Greenville police station is also right around the corner. So that, for some reason, that did not stop anybody around here. Okay. That was Valerna. So we are now at Mordecai, who is standing in the doorway of the blue room. Is he going to continue firing, or is he going to search that room for traps? So traps or battle. He is going to continue battling. Let's see which he can fire at either one of these zombies, and he's going to go for the Spirit Queen's Torment blue zombie there. Firing a blast of energy from his redwood wand, he hits that zombie with a 2. It does not block. Cody says, I was so upset he tried to pee on that door, and he was so mad I was stopping him, saying it isn't my building, so why should I care? I did bust a tooth out of the guy, though. Positive things. Exactly. That's the way to go. Uther says, I never had these experiences because I never did bar drinking. Yeah. I am sad to say that I have seen a lot of that stuff happening being a musician, so I've spent a lot more time in bars than I ever would have. I don't drink. I have never drank. So I would never be caught dead in a place like that, other than I spent a lot of time playing there. And then obviously the teaching studio is right next to one, as we've been discussing. So I've had much more experience with it. I think a lot of that experience is actually has a lot to do with why I never drank. Seeing that sort of stuff happening all the time gave me a lot of good reasons to not do it myself. Mordecai, he's got a second action. He might as well do a search in that room. Is it going to be traps or secret doors? It's secret doors, and there are none in that room. Yeah, no kidding. Ricoro says these monsters skip blocking class. Yeah. Yep. Justin says the worst thing to ever happen to me at a bar was just a guy getting way too excited. I was playing music he liked and hit me kind of hard on my arm. Oh. Best thing that happened is I was walking on a friend who was late and I started texting Sarah. Now we're married. Hey, yeah. Yep. There you go. Cody says, I wish I had every dollar I ever spent in a bar back. Yeah, I bet that would be more than a little. I think most people probably could say that, you know. If you had every dollar back, it would be one of those things like when you see how many like years of your life you actually spent asleep if you put it all next to each other, you know. I feel like it would be one of those numbers. Okay, Rana is going to go ahead and work on taking care of this zombie right here. Justin says, I thank my friend all the time for being late that day. Yeah, absolutely. Rana swings the battle axe at the zombie, hitting it with a 2. And it is dead. And obviously she can't see anything new down that way. There we go. Okay, and it is the monster's turn, so again, we've kind of got the same situation going on. Let's move this guy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Good, just close enough to hit Rana. Swinging his cleaver and hitting her with a 1. But she doesn't block. Oh no. Dropping her to 8 body points. Rukora says, the few times I go to the bar by me are for a girlfriend's birthday or early Saturday morning for biscuits and gravy. Yeah, the Danny's used to have decent food. The bar that was right next to us, they had some sort of like award-winning burrito, seems like. I don't think I ever had it, but I know that it was supposed to be really good food. Justin says, it really was just on a whim too. I was bored and trying to catch up with people, and me and Sarah just kept talking. Yeah, there you go. That's how it works. But he says, well, I was like 15, drinking at the Triangle, drinking and Danny's and Shags before I was 18, liver failure at 21. That'll do it. Yeah, the Triangle was really bad about that sort of stuff. They were not checking IDs, and we looked a little older. Again, I never bothered with that, but you and I both kind of had that. We both looked older than we were. So if they weren't checking IDs, they probably just assumed you were old enough. Zombie swinging cleaver at Mordecai. But missed. Okie dokie, let's keep on moving here. We are at Tiaga the Warlock, and it would be really handy for her to be able to kill one of these monsters and get her demon form back. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's have her help Rana here. Tiaga surely also has a redwood wand. Yes, she does. Sending a blast of energy from her wand at the zombie, she hits it with a 1. But it blocks. That one did go to blocking class, Rukoro. Yeah, exactly. Cody says it was having the beards as teens. Yep. Yep. We both grew facial hair really early. Yeah. Those pictures that Cody was posting in the Discord was it last night? Yeah, I think it was last night before the stream started, of us in the band we were in at the time, which was called Axion. We're like 14 or 15 or something in those pictures, right? We're really young in those, but I've got a full beard. I don't think you do in the pictures, but you did at one point. Rukora says, I get ID'd more often because everyone thinks I look younger than I am. I'm surprised some people at work who did not believe I was 34. Yeah. It's always the opposite for me. People always assume that I'm sometimes significantly older than I am. That takes us back to the heroes. No, that was Tiaga's turn. So we are back to Valerna, who is again going to shoot at the zombie that's right there in the doorway. Putting an arrow in her short bow, she fires and hits the zombie with a 1. The zombie does not block. Justin says, one time me and Magenica were watching a band play at the Legion, and you and Justin come up, and one of us, you say sword fight, and both go into the bathroom. We were like, and you came out saying you won. A few minutes later, Justin came out and said he won. So who really won? Cody says the other people in the bathroom. I don't remember that at all. That is hilarious. I have no clue. Oh, that's great. Valerna, what else are we doing here? Are we going to head into that blue room? The blue room has not been searched for traps, so it may not be beneficial for her to do that, because she also can't search it from where she is. So is she going to go into the room or down the hallway? She's going down the hallway. 1, 2, 3, and she can't go her 4th. Mordecai, now he can search for traps. So what is he doing? Is he going to search for traps, or move into the room to search for treasure, or move into the room for the purpose of going through that door? He is going to search for traps from his current position. There is indeed one trap in this room, a very avoidable falling boulder trap. Oops. That is right in this doorway, ready to hit any unsuspecting fool who walks through that without searching for traps first. Justin says, it was the night Chelsea was sick and you ended up doing an instrumental set. Wow. Okay, I remember that show. That was Chelsea's last show. She left before our set was even over. And that was the last time, because she tried to sing a couple of songs and then her voice just gave out, because we had also played the night before somewhere else. The only known live performances of 2 songs that are on the Life and Death album, the song Resurrection and the song Divide, were both performed that night. The only time they will probably ever be performed, because they didn't have lyrics. So we felt comfortable doing them without her, because we hadn't written lyrics yet. Okay, Mordecai, second action. He already searched for traps, so is he... well, yeah, we might as well just move him in the room. There's really no reason for him to not go in there. Everybody else is kind of ignoring that room. So 1, 2, 3. We'll go ahead and stick him right here, and on the next turn, we'll let him search for treasure there in that room. That was a fun show, despite Chelsea getting sick and not being able to perform with us. I think you were one of the only people that ended up staying up there, because most people are boring and can't stand instrumental music, and so the second they realized there wasn't words, they left. Plus, I think the Legion had another band playing in the basement at the same time as we were playing upstairs, which was poor planning. Why would they do that? Rana, on the skeleton. Or sorry, not skeleton, zombie. Rana swings a battle axe, hitting it with a 2. And it does not defend. Well, we thought it went to blocking class. Guess it should get its money back. Okay, what else is Rana doing? We have not searched anything down this hallway, so is she going to search for traps, search for treasure, or move? She is going to search for traps down this hallway, and believe it or not, from her position to the end of that hallway, there are no traps. Cody says, I played at a venue that had 3 floors and bands on all 3 for 3 different shows. Oh man, that would annoy me so bad. I suppose that was... No, that wasn't the last time we ever played at that Legion, because we did play there at least once with Andy as Right Way. Justin says, yeah, you guys tried to get me up there to sing, but I wasn't about to do that. Too nervous back then, although I probably could have. I knew all the words by heart back then. Yeah, same with Savannah. Savannah could have got up there and done it. I could have done it too, but I don't care about singing. I would have rather just played my guitar than sang the backups. I've never had any interest in being a lead singer live. Okay, that takes us to Tiaga, because there's no monsters on the board, so we are back here. Unfortunately, she was not the one to deal the killing blow to the zombie, so she doesn't get her demon form back, but we do need to determine where she is going. Is she going down the hallway that Ron is looking down, or is she headed down this way? Either way, she's not headed there very fast. She is going to go down this way. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So she has moved almost off camera. Everything's already been searched in this hallway, so nothing further for her to do. Justin says, I think Tony did walk, and it was kind of bad. Him, not you. Yeah, yeah. That's right. I kind of remember that now you say that. Valerna, the elf. Kind of same question here. Is she going down the hallway Ron is looking down, or is she headed after Tiaga? She is also going where Tiaga is going. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Cody says, I was a lead singer in one band. That was enough. My favorite song, or my favorite band was Echo Break because I didn't have to sing. I bet that was nice. I don't mind doing background vocals. I love harmonies. I love, love, love a good harmony. So I'll be happy to sing harmonies in a band, but I do not want to sing lead live. I'll sing lead in the studio all day, no problem. But I don't want to do it live. I'd rather focus on the guitar playing. Okay, that takes us to Mordecai, who is up there in the blue room. The only thing left to do in the blue room is treasure search, so let's go ahead and get that done and out of the way. What is he finding? As Mordecai searches, he accidentally steps on a raised stone that triggers some sort of trap. From the ceiling, 2 wooden panels spring open and an armored skeleton falls from it, suspended by chains attached to each of its limbs. Coins fall from a pouch on the skeleton's belt. Gathering them all, you pick up 50 gold coins. Nice. So it's going to put us up to 3,580 total. Go ahead and says, I can't sing, so I don't have to worry about any of that. That would be kind of a nice excuse to just be like, yep, can't do it. Don't ask me to do it, I'm not doing it. For a long time, I was in a cover band called Shot of Whiskey that did kind of classic rock and country. This is the most recent band that I've left, essentially. So I just left that. But we were really popular in this area because it's the kind of stuff this area wants to hear in a bar band. And when I first joined them, I knew it was 3 ladies and then a guy drummer and then me. And one of the ladies was the mom of a student that my dad had taught for years and years and years, so she knew me and I recognized her. And as soon as I came in, she was like, oh, we're good, this guy's good, we're gonna be fine. Also, he can sing. And I was like, nope, don't even give me a mic. Oh, yeah. Cody says all the Echo Break demos are me singing from writing them. Yep, that makes sense. That was good enough. Merlin says that's a lot. Yeah, in reference to the gold, I imagine. Yeah, it's going to go fast because we don't have very many people unlocking Tier 2 Armory yet. So as soon as they have Tier 2 Armory, that gold's going to be gone. Justin says, oh, I can't either sing, but turns out drunks don't care if you're good. They just care if they know it. Yeah, right. Go ahead and says, I'll gladly prove it too. There you go. Merlin says, when we were playing, I don't think we had that much gold. But once, if my memories are right. Yeah, I imagine you probably had up to that until we started getting Tier 2 Armory stuff. Because the Tier 2 Armory will wipe you right back out. All right, Merlin can also move. Merlin, I knew I was gonna do it. Mordecai. What is it about that makes my brain just break? Mordecai moves. That happens every time Merlin's here, at least once. Oh, dang. Merlin was probably watching that ad, weren't you? Instead of hearing the explanation that I just gave. Yeah, once that Tier 2 Armory opens up, that gold's gonna disappear. 100% that gold is gone. And I bet that's what happened for Merlin as well. When you were playing, I bet as soon as you opened Tier 2 Armory, that gold was gone. Okay, opening the door, there is actually nothing visible in this room. What is Mordecai going to do? He is going to stop there. He doesn't have the action to search, but he is going to stop there. Justin says, the last show I played, I did a cover of Shot in the Dark, and I thought it was really bad, but everyone loved it. Yeah. Dude, it was the same way with the Kiss tribute that I was in, that we were talking about a couple of nights ago. One of the reasons that I left that band was because the band wasn't musically very good, and that bothered me. But every show we played, people loved it. People were able to look past the kind of music part of it because the visual was so good, and most of them were drunk enough to not notice it was bad. But I still can't get past it. For me, it's got to sound good or I'm not interested. I don't care if the audience likes it, honestly. I need to be proud of it or I've no interest in it. Okay, so Ron, I think, is going to go ahead and head down this hallway, and we'll send Mordecai after her when he finishes doing what he's doing. She knows there's no traps here, so let's go into... Yeah, she's going to just open this very first door here. No further doors. And again, pretty much nothing visible in this yellow room. So what is she going to do? Is she going to stop and search for traps? Yes, she is. And there is a trap in here. Again, a very avoidable falling boulder trap, kind of in the middle of the room this time. Not literally middle, but at least not right in the doorway. Cody says, that's why I can't do a cover band. Most people in them don't care enough. Yeah. Nope. That's been my experience too. Totally agree. The guys in the Kiss tribute band kept saying, just have fun. And I was like, I can't have fun when it sounds bad. There are not enough other things about this that are fun to me. I'm glad you guys are having fun, genuinely. I'm not saying you shouldn't be having fun, but I'm not. No monsters on the board. We are back to Tiaga. Tiaga is moving 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And looking around the corner into the hallway down here, she sees, again, all the way to the other corner of the map. I don't think either of our cameras can get this entire hallway, can they? Yeah, this one can, just barely. Still a little bit of an awkward angle, but it is, yeah. So Tiaga is down here in this corner, and she is looking down this hallway. What she can see is a door here, a door here, door all the way down here at the green room. And of course there's a monster on the corner, because of course there would be. However, this time it is a zombie instead of a skeleton. Zombie in the corner, which is kind of off camera there. Okay, she finished her movement, question mark? See, she was behind Valerna. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yes, so she finished her movement. She can't do anything else other than searching for stuff. So is it going to be traps or secret doors? It is going to be traps. She is searching this hallway for traps. And again, this is going to apply. We're going to switch back here to the entire, from where she is all the way down to where the zombie is. There is one trap in this hallway, and it is a pit trap that is right here. It's too bad she's not in demon form. She could ignore that. Justin says, sometimes I consider getting back out there, but there's not much passion to do it. It's fun once in a while, but I'm not in love with performing. I prefer a round of fire or something. There you go, yeah. Yep. And Cody says, I messed up a drum fill in a song once during a sold-out 300 cap room, and I was so mad because my performance was bad. Yeah, and probably not a single one of those people noticed, but you're mad. You notice, right? You want to be proud of what you did, and if you mess something up, it's going to affect that. I'm totally right there with you. Valerna is also moving 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. So she is headed down the hallway. She is not in range. Well, yeah, she's not even close to in range of that zombie. She also can't open the door. So we'll go ahead and have her search for secret doors. And there are none of those in this hallway either. Gwen says, I could be a comedian if I could remember all the jokes I've ever made. That would be great to go see a stand-up comedian. I would love to see a stand-up comedian that's somebody that I know. I've never seen that. I've actually never been to a stand-up show. I love stand-up comedy, but I've never been to a live show. Justin says, my favorite thing is to find songs that will make Chad laugh and spring it on him out of nowhere. There you go. Yeah, I've got a funny story relating to one of the things we were just talking about. I'll make sure I continue to play so I'm not getting too distracted. When I was in the band Biogenesis, we played a lot of shows in that band, and there was a lady named Tammy who would come to see basically all of the shows, or she was a huge fan. Morkai, we're going to force a trap search right off the bat because he did stop there, and there are no traps in that room. So is he going to search secret doors or move in there for treasure? He's also going to search secret doors, and there are also none of those. So that's him done. We played a show at the Bradford Pumpkin Show, I think. It was Magenica's last show before she moved away. And it was hands down, the worst show that I've ever played in my life. Merlin says Donkey Kong. Yes. Merlin says, me either. That sounds fun. Yes. Gohan says, I've been to a couple of comedy shows at a Funny Bone, but I don't like those kinds of clubs. Yeah, I don't like being in crowds either, so I'd be uncomfortable for sure. Just says, I do an acoustic cover of Half Horse, Half Man by On Company Time. Nice. So we played this show and it was terrible. It was just one of those shows where everything that could go wrong did go wrong. Rana, secret doors or move in for treasure? Yes, she is going to search secret doors. And there are none in there. And then we'll just go ahead and move her in so she can do treasure search next time. I was breaking strings left and right. One time, Magenica read the set list wrong and clicked off, she was the drummer, clicked off the wrong song. So we all started playing the song that we thought was next, and she was playing a different song, and it was a disaster. We were having sound issues. It was just one of those shows. Terrible. We played terrible. We were having a bad time. It didn't seem like the audience was super into it. I was so mad after that show that after we finished the last song, I ripped a string off one of my guitars, which was dumb and it was immature, and anybody who saw me do that was probably like, oh, what's wrong with this guy? But I was really, just to illustrate that I was very angry. I grabbed one of the strings on one of my guitars and pulled it off the guitar. Shortly after that, I mean, it couldn't have been minutes after that happened, Tammy comes up behind me and was like, wow, I think that was the best I've ever heard you guys. and that moment just proved to me without a shadow of a doubt that what Cody was just kind of talking about, what we were discussing. The audience has no idea if the show went good or bad. You know what I mean? They enjoy the vibe way more than they enjoy the musicianship. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's other musicians that notice the musicianship. Regular people are more into the vibe of the whole thing, and they generally have no idea if something went wrong. Unless they see something like me ripping a string off a guitar, then they're probably going to have an indication that something didn't go right, and they're going to be really turned off by it. But it baffled me, because Tammy had seen us a ton. Tammy had seen us at our best. And I don't know if she was just saying it, but apparently that moment she thought that was the best she'd heard us up to that point. And I was so incredibly angry when that happened. We are at Tiaga now, who's here at the corner. I didn't lash out at her or anything because I knew she had nothing but good intentions. But behind the mask, I was incredibly upset that I had just played the worst show of my entire life, and somebody was like, "That was really good." Okay, Tiaga moving. 1, 2, 3, 4, and she's gonna go ahead and open the door into this blue room. They're not within range of that zombie yet, so they're not worried about it. Okay, in this blue room, there is a chest. Tiaga, are we searching for traps? No. Did she have movement left? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And unfortunately, she immediately steps in a pit trap. So let's see if she jumps it. She does indeed jump it. Is she jumping left or forward? She is jumping forward. Okay, pit trap right there. That's why you always search for traps. Okay, Tiaga does technically have a second action, but her movement is done. It's forced done right here. Is she going to search for traps or secret doors now? She's still not searching for traps. That's wild. She's doing the secret door search, and there are none in this room. I've missed a whole bunch of stuff here. Cody says, I saw Michael Blaustein at Funny Bone. The club was not my favorite. Show was great. Same, I saw Jason Mewes, Ben Bailey, and Josh Wolf. Oh, I don't know that I've heard of Ben Bailey, but obviously I know Jason Mewes and I know who Josh Wolf is. That would have been great. Merlin's laughing about that story because Merlin was also in Biogenesis, so he would have also been there for that. Justin says Tammy is great. Yes, I haven't talked to her for a long time. I saw recently she's having some sort of surgery, so I hope that went okay. Cody said, Echo Break played a horrid second show. Our synth tracks, click tracks, and in-ears were having issues. I was horribly mad. Then my Tamakit and Zildjian cymbals got stolen. Oh man, that is awful. And Gohan says they were drunk. You know what, I don't know. At that particular show, I don't think they were, because it was kind of like a fair, if you will. So there were kids running around and stuff. It was kind of like an outdoor, there would have been carnival rides and stuff like that. So I don't know. I don't know if they were selling alcohol there. Justin says, I like seeing Tammy at the shows and Harry, R.I.P. Yes, same. Gosh, I miss Harry. Jerry and Harry both, who were singers in bands that I was in, and Harry was at shows all the time. Such a fantastic guy. Cody says, it was my Baby Blue Tama Jazz Club kit too. Had to buy a whole new kit and cancel a show. Oh, that sucks, dude. There's nothing good about getting your stuff stolen. Gohan says, can you search for traps when it's the first step in? The Cash Cab guy. Never underestimate someone's ability to be drunk at a fair. Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, that is fair. Yes, depending on the rule set you're playing. I'm pretty sure real Hero Quest rules say no. I think some localizations of the rules do it a little bit more like what I do. Based on my talks with Bohemius occasionally, I believe that there are some versions of the rules that do what I do, but at least the rules that I have read indicate that if there's a trap on the first thing, they're basically forcing you to either not go in that room or step on that trap. So I've always allowed, if they are directly adjacent to the square looking into the room, or if we're opposite, if they're on the square in the room adjacent to the hallway, they can search that area. Cody says, I got drunk at the fair multiple times as a team with Birchfield and Michael. Yeah, not surprised. Okay, that was Tiago. So we are now at Valerna, and we also know that there is no other place to go in this blue room. So there's no point in Valerna going in there also. So let's just have her continue on down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Is it benefiting her at all to skip that red room? I'd say no. 1, 2, 3, 4. She's finally got the lead out there, getting a 12 instead of a 3. Oh, okay, thank you. Yeah, no, totally. That's easy to confuse there. There's a horrid teen and young adult. Again, I think probably most people could say that. Valerna is opening the door into the red room. There is in this room another door. And another cluster of monsters. This time 5 skeletons and a dread warrior. This quest didn't even need you guys spawning monsters. 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, in certain rooms, maybe. But I don't know why all the monsters are like clumped together in this quest, and then some of the rooms are totally empty. Lots of skeletons, and 1 dread warrior hanging out in the back. Cody says, that's why I haven't spawned any monsters, to be honest. Yeah. It's like every once in a while this quest just unloads on them, and then other than that it's kind of an exploratory quest. Valerna, are we checking for traps in this room? No, she is not, so she's fighting. Now at the moment, she would do more damage close range than long range, but it would still be pretty silly of her to just walk into this room. Yeah, because she's definitely getting hit twice, even if she walks into the corner. She doesn't know if there are traps in here. I think it's smarter for her to shoot. So let's just have her shoot at any of these 3 skeletons here, and it is going to be the one that's furthest over. So she is aiming at that guy there. putting an arrow in the short bow and firing, hitting that skeleton with a 1, which it does not defend. 1 skeleton down. Gohan says, I redeemed a wandering monster to test if we ran out of claims the other stream. Do I still get that? That's a good question. I don't remember that. No, I totally do. Because I asked, right? Like, are we out of redeems? And then you spawned one and said, nope. I was almost thinking we might have actually done that. We actually put the monster in. Or did we not? Honestly, I don't remember well enough to say for sure that we did. I'll put one in if you want me to. You tell me. Okay, Valerna killed that skeleton, so we're good there. We need to go back up to Morkai. Go ahead and says, honestly, I can't remember either. I'd have to go check YouTube. Yeah. That was the episode when Justin was here, right? Because the episode we did last night is not on YouTube, because I'm trying to figure out what to do with it. I think I might cut it in half, cut the finish of the quest off from when Savannah was painting Rana. Okay, we know what we're doing with Morkai here. He is moving 1 square in there, and he's just searching for treasure. That was the only thing left to do in there. Okay, oh, well, there you go. Morkai just found a wandering monster. And unfortunately, in this quest, the wandering monster is a Dread Warrior. We're getting near the end of the quest book. You can tell, because the wandering monster printed on the book is always bad news. Wandering monster immediately swings its mace at the wizard, hitting him with 2. Morkai does not block either hit. That is unfortunate. This drops him to 9. Go ahead and says, so when we inevitably have to split quests again, are you uploading them in parts or will you wait for the quest to be complete? Oh, thank you, Cody. Defense, yes. Next time Morkai's got to defend that guy, that's definitely a good use of that. I'm leaning towards that second thing, Gohan. I'm thinking we might wait for the quest to complete, and then I'll just compile the pieces of that quest into a single YouTube episode. Because I definitely don't want us to get off of, like, every night we're doing, like, okay, we're going to finish this one, and then we're going to start the next one. I'm still not 100% sure how we're going to get around that, because it's going to happen sometimes. Probably more and more often now. We'll figure that out for sure. Okay, and Morkai moved and searched, so he actually can't do anything to immediately attack back on that Dread Warrior. He doesn't need to drink the Potion of Defense yet, but we definitely will next turn. Rana is in this room, and just like Morkai, there is nothing for her to do in here other than get the treasure search out of the way. Go ahead and says, I just got curious was all. Yeah, I have been as well. That was one thing that I did not really walk my mind through before, oh crud, before we started doing this. I was just gonna square up that deck and I just dropped most of it. It was the treasure discard pile, so it wasn't really a big deal, but still kind of annoying. Oopsie daisy. Okay, now, oh, Rana found a wandering monster too, okay. Okay, another Dread Warrior then. There we go. Dread Warrior swings its mace at the dwarf, hitting her with a critical hit of 4. Ooh boy. She defends 2 of those hits, dropping her to 6 body points. Ooh, buddy. So all the monsters were just hiding. Yeah, no kidding. Oh, good. Cody. The emote finally went through. That's one of our brand new animated emotes. Go ahead and says, ouch. Yeah. That's hilarious. You guys have no idea how long that took me today. That creating a GIF and uploading it. Yeah, we got a new Super Dead as well that's animated. Slightly different from the other Super Dead one. I'm a little embarrassed how long it took me to make that. There you go, yeah. Premium content. Now you have it at your fingertips whenever you want. Rana, all she did was search so she can immediately retaliate against this Dread Warrior. Let's hope she does good. She is swinging the battle axe. And totally missing. Why couldn't she have rolled that for her defense roll? Okay, well we need to potentially get somebody back up there to help her. Everybody is kind of in a bad situation right at the moment. Okay, so both the Dread Warriors have already attacked on this turn. So we just basically need to do the monsters in this room. And also there's a zombie real far down the hallway. We're already looking at that camera. This guy right here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, who's not really affecting anything, but he's on the way. Oh, Gohan says, I used the $1 I had from ad revenue for those bits. Thanks, Twitch. Oh, man. I still need to figure out how to do that, because I tried to gift a sub to somebody, and I didn't see the option to use the Twitch revenue. And I know I just didn't see it. It was for sure it was there, and I was just being dumb. But we also have a skeleton here coming up to Valerna. Skeleton swings its scythe at Valerna, hitting her with 1. And she blocks. Okay. You have to earn enough first. Gotcha. So maybe that's part of what it is, too. And it has to clear or something sometimes. I don't know. Okay, so maybe that's what it was. Because we haven't hit the payout number yet. We're getting close. We haven't hit the payout number, so maybe it's got to do that first. And then after that, you have access to use it. Or something like that. I won't pretend to understand how technology works. Okay, that takes us right back to heroes, and Tiaga is the only one who is not in active combat, but she is still kind of in a bad situation because she would have to disarm that trap to leave that room. But I do think that might be worth doing, being that, like, both Rana and Morkai are potentially in bad situations. Rana particularly is in a bad situation, so I think let's do that. We can come back to this blue room. So we're gonna actually I didn't need to roll, but whatever. We're gonna move Tiaga back onto this pit trap, and we're gonna have her attempt to disarm it this time. Now she does have toolkit disarm, which means she's got a 50-50 chance. If this is a shield of either color, that pit trap is gone. Darn. Unfortunately, Tiaga fell down into the pit as she was trying to disarm it, losing a body point, dropping her to 8. Gohan says, I used to try, but then it got away from me, so now I just look up what I need when I need it. Yeah. Yep, that seems like the way to go, honestly. Okay, that takes us to Valerna, and is it worth having Valerna run from this battle and have a whole bunch of monsters chasing after her? Probably not. Probably not. It's really hard to say. Okay, here's one thing we can do for sure. She's got a heroic brew. Let's have her use that. That's going to allow her to attack twice in one turn as a single action. And then she's facing a whole room full of monsters, so that's at least going to get her out of the room a little faster. Okay, first attack. She swings her longsword at the skeleton. Is she at full health? Yes, she is. So she's swinging 4 here. Swings her longsword at the skeleton, hitting it with a critical hit. This is a skilled strike. That skeleton is super dead. Very nice. And with her second action, she is also going to shoot at this skeleton right here with her short bow, firing an arrow and hitting that skeleton with a 1, which it doesn't block. All right, Valerna. Actually, I think that drawer is supposed to have 4 skeletons. Yes, getting that super dead. Oh, I love it. That's awesome, guys. Cody, Gohan, Rukoro all using the super dead emote. I love it. Valerna does actually have a second action here, and we have a lot less monsters that would be chasing. I think it actually would be beneficial. So we're gonna go ahead and roll to move her as well. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, so that she can at least try to get up here to help Rana. Now that is gonna trigger all these monsters to chase after them, and they can't attack Tiaga while she's in the pit, so she's not really in danger. Morkai. is facing his own kind of bad situation up here too, but there is a good chance that between spells and attacking, he can get rid of this guy, and we're definitely going to have him drink a potion of defense unless he kills this guy. So let's start off with him casting a genie spell. Here we go. The spell conjures a genie who will attack any one monster in your line of sight. The genie attacks with 5 dice. The monster may defend as normal. A genie appears in front of Mordecai and attacks the Dread Warrior, hitting it with a 2. The monster blocks 1 and takes the other. Not dead, but damaged. After this, Mordecai swings his wizard staff. Unfortunately, he's not at full health, so this is only 2 dice. Hitting the Chaos Warrior with a 1. Which it doesn't defend. Fair point. Still not dead. Put another damage marker up there. And then we are going to, kind of anticipating the next monster's turn, we're going to have him drink one of those potions of defense. Thanks to Cody reminding me to do that. Which means that on the next turn, on the next monster's turn, Mordecai's going to get 2 extra defense dice. Just on that one turn. Okie dokie. And then we are down to Rana, who has nothing to help her. She's just got to do this fight. So she is going to start off by swinging the battle axe at the Dread Warrior, hitting it with a 1. Oh man, Rana, you got to hit harder than that. And there you go. The Dread Warrior doesn't defend it. But again, that was the first point of damage she's taken off of it, so it's definitely not dead. And there is nothing else she could do unless she's going to run away. And she's not quite down low enough for that yet. So let's go ahead and forfeit her second action and leave her standing there. Okay, monster's turn. Let's take a look at what's going on basically in turn order. So first off, nobody can attack Tiaga. She's fallen in the pit. But these monsters are going to move. We've also got the zombie that is down over here we might as well take care of. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh no! Justin is casting a random dread spell. Okay, who would you like to cast on? And we will determine what's going on. We might end up with a spell that hits multiple people, but in the much more likely case that it's only one person, who would you like? So we'll randomize who it is. Okay, let me take care of everything else and we'll do that. Rukora says, here comes the evil. Yes, okay, skeletons are gonna move. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Ah, are we gifting a potion of strength to Rana, or are we doing that to whoever gets hit with this dread spell? Whoever needs it. Yeah, Rana's probably not a bad idea there. I'm gonna switch cameras if I can get my brain to focus. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then the Dread Warriors move 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, so you can't quite get out the door there. I'm gonna go ahead and write Potion of Strength gift on Rana's paper so that I don't forget that by the time we get back to it. And then we have these 2 Dread Warriors. So let's take care of the one on Rana just because we're looking at it. Dread Warrior swings its mace at the dwarf, missing her. Hey, there you go. And another Dread Warrior up here attacking Mordecai, and let's not forget he gets extra defense this time. This Dread Warrior swings its mace, hitting him with a 1. Oh, it's almost a shame that it wasn't a little worse considering he's got extra defense, which he blocks. Probably thanks to the Potion of Defense. Okay. Random dread spell. First off, let's get the spell first, actually. Cody says he aimed too high for Rana, didn't have to duck. Yeah. Okay, so we are going to be going 10 cards down the dread spell pile. Here's the dread spell pile. And as long as this is a spell that actually makes sense, we'll use it. Let me just grab a little off the top here. That'll make it easier to go through. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Tempest, yeah, that makes sense. So some hero is losing their next turn. And we'll use the suits of the cards to determine who. It is our second hero, which is Valerna. So Valerna is going to miss this turn. Very nice. Could have been worse, but it had a direct effect. especially because Valerna was trying to get somewhere. Okay, that takes us back to Tiaga, which we are almost pointing at her. Let's switch camera angles here. Tiaga is currently down in that pit trap. However, she is, unless she's going to keep trying to disarm it, she can totally just climb out. So let's have her do that. We'll just kind of let her be a roadblock here to these monsters getting any further. And yeah, Rukoro says not the worst outcome. Yeah, 100%. That could have been way worse. If she manages to kill this skeleton, she'll actually get her demon form back. She attacks better at long range though, doesn't she? I've blocked that for some reason. Yeah, so let's use her one more movement to move away. She fires a blast of energy from her redwood wand at the skeleton, hitting it with a 2. And it does not block. The skeleton is not only dead, but Tiaga consumes its essence, giving her access once again to the demon form spell. She can't quite cast it yet, but on the next turn she will be able to. Next, Valerna the elf, caught in the tempest, cannot move. However, the tempest is now abated. Moving on to Morkai the wizard. He's still got plenty of spells up his sleeve. Let's get a ball of flame moving. Yeah, better safe than sorry. A ball of fire appears at Morkai's fingertips and engulfs the Dread Warrior. The Dread Warrior attempts to fight off the magical flames and is not successful, burning and dying. We're getting through it. Second action, Morkai can go ahead and head back down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Fireball, yes. Okay, Rana is going to be using the potion of strength gifted to her by Savannah, allowing her 2 extra attack dice for this attack only. She swings her battle axe at the Dread Warrior, hitting it with a 3. That's more like it. The Dread Warrior does not defend a single thing. Look at that. Now, you could argue the Potion of Strength had a lot to do with that, but she did not end up needing help. So it actually kind of worked out that Valerna couldn't get to her. It ended up not being a big deal. Justin says, did a small upgrade to my board game room. Has a dedicated chair like yours now. Nice. That's so nice that this chair doesn't go anywhere. It's always this chair. I still may eventually invest in a different one, though. If I had one complaint about this chair, it's very comfortable and I like it. I'd like to not have a leather chair. Because we've got the space heater down here, because the basement's always cold. Whether it's summer or winter, the basement is always the same temperature. It's always cold. And this heater, like, superheats this leather, and by the end of an episode, I am sweating like crazy. Particularly in the part of me that is sitting on the chair. So I would like to have a chair that's not leather eventually. But until then, this one is perfectly fine. All right, Rana's second action. Yeah, that was it for that room. She can get out of there. So let's head her up towards that green room and see what's going on in there. 1, 2, 3, and 4. No fear, this dwarf. Opening the door into the green room, she sees an additional door. And for now, that is all. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, that was her entire movement, and she doesn't have anything else. Justin says, we got Sarah a better PC chair, so the game room got her old one. Nice. I'm going to have to upgrade my lesson room chairs fairly soon, too. Those chairs aren't even that old, but they won't, the hydraulics in them won't stay up anymore. So they always end up, like, basically sitting on the ground. They were $50 a piece, too, so upsetting that they're broke already. Monster's turn. We've just got this kind of lower hallway going on here. So let's get the skeleton up to Tiaga first. It's the only one that's actually going to be able to hit her. Swinging a scythe and hitting her with a 1, which she blocks. Very nice. Dread Warrior also headed up here, and the zombie back here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Nice. We've got a little line of monsters down here headed towards the heroes. Okay, and back to the hero's turn. It is actually Tiaga's turn, And I think we might as well have her recast the demon form. Yeah. Okay, so we've already read this card. This transforms her into a large demon, which gives her an extra attack dice, both long and close range, and allows her to ignore pit traps. She swipes her claws at the skeleton, hitting it with a 2. It blocks one, but not the other, which means it is still dead. Ooh, she's probably going to lose that demon form to the Dread Warrior there. Oh well. Okay, Valerna is actually not frozen this turn, so she can come back down there and help. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And let's actually have her cast one of her spells here. So she's got this neat spell called Arrows of the Night, which I have rarely, if ever, used. This is one of the spells of darkness. The spell may be cast on any monster in the spellcaster's line of sight. We're going to be targeting the Dread Warrior down here. These magical bolts will inflict 5 body points of damage. The monster may defend using 5 defense dice. So we'll see, because this guy is probably dead to this. He's only got 3 body points total. He's just taken 5 damage minus 1. Still took 4 damage. He is dead. Arrows of the Night, everyone. Okay, up to Morkai. Here is Morkai, walking on down the hallway, headed after Rana. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. So he did kind of get near her there, not really near enough to do anything. This hallway hasn't been searched for secret doors. He could also use his healing spell on her. She's not real low, but I think we are gonna do that. Yeah. Okay, we're gonna have Morkai cast Heal Body on Rana, which is actually gonna put her back up to full health. Just as kind of an insurance policy. She's gonna be fine, but, you know, let's be honest, that Dread Warrior scored a pretty nasty hit on her, and it just, it's kind of triggered a little bit of PTSD for dwarves dying. Okay, and that actually brings us to Rana there, which means she has several options here. Is she going to search the hallway she's standing in for secret doors, this room for traps, this room for secret doors, move in and search for treasure, or move in and go straight for that other door? Let's just go ahead and roll the movement dice and see. Okay, so we can take that last one off there. She's not going to make it to the door regardless. So search for secret doors in the hallway, traps in the room, secret doors in the room, walk into the room and search for treasure are the 4 options. And she is doing that last one. 1, 2, 3, 4. Did she step on a trap there? Oh, crud. Yes, she totally did. There was a falling boulder trap right there. Rana, you got to search for traps. She takes 2 damage from the falling rocks, dropping her to 8 body points. That's the second time that's happened to her this quest. She is also forced forward by the trap, which becomes an impassable wall. Yeah, exactly. Cody says, "Dear Lord, please search for traps." F in the chat. Rukora says traps will be her downfall. Yeah, no kidding. I'm starting to think, so in her personality, she has the battle/safety personality trait, which determines whether or not she searches for traps before she enters a room. And so far, it seems like we're seeing that she doesn't. Now, what we rolled for her randomly was equal, which means we just draw a card and it's 50-50 chance whether she searches or not. But it's kind of starting to seem like we ought to prioritize battle over safety for her. Doesn't seem like she's all that interested in searching. Okay, monster's turn. We've just got this zombie right here, 1-2, which is going to attack Tiaga in demon form, swinging its cleaver at her and hitting her with a 1. Surely she can defend a 1, I say, totally jinxing the dice roll. Okay, just barely. She does indeed block. I thought genuinely that I had jinxed that. And that is, believe it or not, that's the only monster on the board at the moment. That's kind of weird. Yeah, this was the zombie that came from the corner. So this zombie had a heck of a walk. He was all the way at the other end of the board and got all the way down here. Okay, we are right back at Tiaga, who is probably going to totally obliterate this dude. Swinging her claws at the zombie, she hits it with a 1. Okay, maybe not obliterate. It blocks, okay. Or the zombie will just totally block and prove me completely wrong. Is there anything else she can do? No, there sure isn't. Nothing really smart for her to do. So I guess we're just going to go straight to Valerna, who is standing behind her and is going to shoot at that zombie with her short bow. Hitting it with a 2. Which it doesn't block. Now, how does that make sense? A massive demon swipes at you with its claws, and you're like, nope, no worries there, I blocked that, and then you get shot in the face with an arrow. Cody says, are you saying you need another monster? I'm not saying that, but I'm not going to tell you not to do it either. Valerna is also able to move on this turn. So what is she doing here? 1, 2. Is she gonna... Now she was headed into this red room, and Tiaga was in the blue room. You know what? Tiaga can ignore pit traps. It actually makes more sense for Tiaga to handle that. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then is she gonna stop right there? Yes, she is. She doesn't have the action to search for traps, but she's gonna stop right there. Rukora says arrows are clearly stronger than demon claws. Yeah. And Tiaga attacks better when she's long range, even when she's in demon form, but she couldn't move back, at least not easily. I guess we could have, hopped her over Valerna and set her back there. I gotta remember that next time. It probably would have been the smarter move. But either way, they took care of it. Okay, Morkai has got to be a little bit annoyed that he just healed Rana only for her to immediately get hit again. 1, 2. Is he gonna stop and search for traps? Yes, he is. He's gonna be like, listen here, newbie. This is how we do this. There are no other traps in that room, just the one she stepped on. I like to imagine he yelled at Rana. Yeah, I hope he did. Merlin says, every time you say her name, I think of that guy from Brazil. Yeah. Oh, that's great. Okay, and that brings us to her again, right? Yes. Now, she was about to search for treasure before she got hit by that trap, so let's go ahead and do that. That is in her personality. I've forgotten to do that so far, but she does actually like searching for treasure, so it makes sense. Let's see, what's she finding? Rana clears away the bones of an orc's skeletal remains with her boot and notices an odd jingling sound as the skull rolls away. Upon closer inspection, she finds 35 coins hidden inside. What in the heck were coins doing inside an orc's skull? Oh, this is gonna be weird. Okay, 35 coins added to what we have. Let me just throw that pencil. Is going to put us at 3,615 coins. Merlin says, how's her name spelled? Yes, Cody just put it in there. I'll put it in the chat too, just as a direct response there. It's that. Cody says the coins went up the orc's nose. Well, that explains how it died. He's like, hey guys, I wonder if you could snort coins. Unfortunately, the answer was yes. And it's impressive that he managed to snort 35 of them before he died. Okay, she is also moving. She does know that there are no further traps here. So 1, 2, 3. She is at the door up into the red room. Opening the door, she discovers a chest. We're getting a couple of treasure chests here. I wonder what's going to happen. Is she going to stop here? Did she learn her lesson? Yes, she did. She doesn't have the action to search, but she is going to stop there for the purpose of searching on the next turn. No monsters on the board. We are back to Tiaga, who is going to check out this room. Okay, Tiaga, did you learn your lesson? Because you didn't search for traps here last time. Yes, she is going to stop here and search this blue room for traps. And she will discover, in addition to the pit trap, there is also a falling boulder trap, which once she knows where it is avoidable. And also, the chest is trapped. Because big surprise, am I right? She does have the ability to disarm if she can manage it. Okay, we are now at Valerna the Elf. Oh, Tiaga. Yes, that's it. Exactly what you did there, Merlin. Tiaga. Yep, Tiaga. Yeah, not Tiago. Tiaga. Yeah. Yeah, somehow when Merlin and I, and well, basically everybody left the band Biogenesis, they put out an album shortly after that with a total replacement band, and 2 of the dudes in that band were named Tiago. Yeah, somehow. The vocalist got 3 new members, and 2 of those 3 were both named Tiago. Okay, yeah, so we didn't do anything. Did I roll? That 4 was for Tiaga. Okay, so Valerna here, looking into the red room, and we need to determine she stopped there for the purpose of searching this room for traps. So we're going to start her turn with that. And there is also, kind of similar to the last one, there is another falling boulder trap, again, avoidable if you know where it is. Right there in the red room. And with her second action, is she going to search for secret doors, or walk in there to search for treasure, or is she just going to ignore the treasure search and go for the other door? King is no help here. She is 6 would be the middle thing. What was the middle thing that I said? Search for secret doors inside the room. Walk in there for the purpose of searching for treasure would be what that was. 1, 2, 3. So we'll just leave her right there, and on the next turn she can search for treasure. Morkai. What's left in the green room? Secret door search. Now let's see. Yeah, we'll see if he's going to do that. He likes to search for secret doors, so I imagine he will. Secret door, move. He is indeed doing secret doors, and there are none in the green room, which means with his second action, he can go ahead and move up towards the red room. 1, 2. Not very fast, though. Rana stopped at that red room for the purpose of searching for traps before she walked into it, so we'll go ahead and do that. And if you guys would believe this, this is crazy. Somebody clip this because it never happens. There are no traps in that room. The chest is not trapped. It's also not empty, if you'd believe that. I mean, that's insane, right? Okay, now that she knows that, what else is she going to do? Is she going to search for secret doors while she's standing there, or is she going to go ahead and move up to the chest? She's also going to do the secret door search, and there are none. Yeah, Cody said the mind blown emote. I love it. So she didn't move any, but she did all the searching. They now know this area is also a dead end. It's just that chest. Rukoro says, I would expect it to be a mimic. Yeah. HeroQuest recently introduced those. I'm not sure yet if I'm actually going to use them. So that's not a mechanic at the moment, but we did get a mimic chest right here. This came in the Wizards of Morcar expansion. I'm not sure if I'm going to use that at some point, but it's an interesting idea. We got a mimic door as well. Nice, yes. Okay, that takes us to no monsters on the board, so we are back to Tiaga. Okay, so in demon form, Tiaga can totally ignore pit traps. She can totally avoid that falling boulder trap. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Unfortunately, she didn't get to the chest, which is annoying. So that is just the end of her turn, because we can't do anything until she gets up, because that chest is trapped. Okay, Valerna. She stopped where she was in the red room for the purpose of searching for treasure, so let's go ahead and start her turn off with that. What does she find? A wandering monster is what she finds. Another Dread Warrior, please, I say to myself, as if somebody else is going to hand it to me. Dread Warrior appears and immediately swings a mace, hitting Valerna with a 2, which she blocks. Merlin says, could incorporate the Afterwinter figures. That would be interesting. Yes. I never did order the other ones. I've got the Magenica, but I don't have anybody else. I need to get those as potential heroes to enter. That would be funny. Because any of us could be a bard class, like, really easily. Okay, Valerna's, she does actually have an action to retaliate. What does she have that would help her out here? She's got a rock skin spell that would be potentially helpful. She doesn't have anything damaging other than just attacking it. Okay, and she is still at full health. That might not be true after this turn, so let's go ahead and do this. She's gonna swing her longsword at the Dread Warrior, which is 4 dice right at the moment, only because she's at full health. Hitting the Dread Warrior with a 3, geez, she might one-shot the guy. Okay, it blocked 1. Blocked 1, took 2. There you go. Cody clipped the no traps. I love it. Okay, that is it for Valerna. We are now at Mordecai, and it could absolutely be argued that he is no longer needed here now that we know that that area is a dead end. So he might as well turn around and come back down towards where Tiaga and Valerna are. So let's. Does he have a swift wind? Yeah, he does. Let's not have him waste turns doing nothing. Rukora says, geez, out for blood. Yeah, no kidding. Okay, we are going to start him off by casting a Swift Wind spell. The spell gives you a powerful burst of energy, allowing the targeted hero to roll double the amount of movement dice for their next 3 movements. So I've already rolled 2 dice, but we'll go ahead and grab 2 more. So his movement is going to be, whoa, 19. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. Mordecai realized he didn't have all his steps in today on his Fitbit and figured, well, I better get this up. Okay. Cody says, got out the swiftly. Yes. Rana, then, now left alone. Only needs to get up to that chest. 1, 2, 3. Yes, so she can search this room for treasure. I think having her personality be treasure searching has also been reflected correctly in this quest. She has done a lot of the treasure searches. What does she find? She finds 360 coins and 2 anti-poison quills. So this is an artifact. Let's just go ahead and I'll show you guys the card and we'll read it because I'm also not super familiar with this one. Using this quill will allow you to ignore any damage sustained from poison if used immediately. This can be used to negate any sprung trap that utilizes poison or the poison treasure card. The quill has 3 uses before its antidote has run out. Very nice. Holy moly, yeah, that was actually a really worthwhile chest. So she has 2 of these quills, which each has 3 uses. So we're gonna put anti-poison quill. And then I'm gonna mark here ×6, not because she has 6 of them, but because she has 6 uses of them. I better mark this to myself too, just so that I don't forget. 2 items, 3 uses each. Just so I know why there's a ×6 there, because there is not supposed to be a ×6 in an items box. Rukora says, wow, helpful, yes. Merlin says, I don't think I have ever actually used Swift Wind, but that just covered a lot of spaces. Yes, it did. I also buffed it. So making it in effect for 3 turns in a row was something I recently added to it, because I also had never used that spell. So I thought, well, clearly it needs its usefulness bumped a little bit. Okay, and then she also found 360 coins, so that's going to put us up to 3,975. And again, I know that seems like a lot, guys. I imagine that all of you are kind of echoing Merlin's statement earlier about that being a lot of gold. The more heroes that we get unlocking Tier 2, all of the stuff in Tier 2 Armory is in the thousands of gold coins cost. So that is still going to go out really fast. Also forgot to mark one of those turns that Mordecai used. Okay, and Rana moved in search for treasure, so that's it for that. We are now at the monster's turn. Now the Dread Warrior already attacked on this turn cycle, so it doesn't attack again right now. We are now at Tiaga. Okay, Tiaga is moving up to the chest and she is going to attempt to disarm it. Now, again, Tiaga has Toolkit Disarm, which is a skill set of hers. This just gives her 50-50 chance. So this needs to be a shield of either color or she has sprung the trap by accident. Ouch. Okay, so that is the second time that she has sprung a trap after trying to disarm it. She's clearly not very good at disarming traps. What was this trap? This chest is trapped with a poison needle. Oh, it's too bad she didn't get one of those anti-poison quills. If a hero searches for treasure before the trap is disarmed, they will lose 3 body points. The chest, oh yeah, because she also does get the contents of the chest. No, she won't. Not yet. Okay. Let's do a fancy thing here. She didn't search for treasure. For some reason I thought she did. No, she didn't search for treasure. She was attempting to disarm the traps. She is going to use her Dark Wings spell. Cast the spell on an enemy's turn after you have suffered damage. Ooh, here's a rule thing. You guys help me out. What do you think here? Reduce that damage to 0 and move instantly to any unoccupied square that you can see. Can she do this? Because it is not an enemy's turn. So if we're just using this to negate damage, it's fine, which is what I was thinking. But if we read this card's text literally, she should only be able to cast this on the monster's turn. How do you guys feel about that? Do we allow that, or do we follow it literally? I go either way on that. She's going to lose the demon form if we let it hit her, but that's how it goes. Rukora says, as a damage negate, I think it'd be fine. That's kind of, well, like I said, that's what I was thinking. I've always just viewed Dark Wings as being a damage negating spell. I didn't even intend, and in most of the cases that she would take damage, it would be the enemy's turn. Cody also says same. Okay, that's 2 votes. Unless anybody has any particularly good dissenting arguments. Saribot says an ad break starting. Okay, so we'll let her use that. She's going to cast the Darkwing spell, which is going to let her negate the damage from that trap. And also, she can move, but she doesn't have to. And it would actually not benefit her to move. So we're going to leave her there. We're just going to picture that as that trap sprung, she flew up into the air out of the way of it and then came back down. Okay, back to Valyria. Fighting this wandering dread monster, dread warrior. I think we're going to go ahead and have her cast her rock skin spell. This is a temporary defense boost. That targeted hero may use 1 extra defense dice when being attacked. The spell is broken when the hero suffers 1 body point of damage. This is a good just kind of general spell to have active, just to give you an extra defense dice, and if you get hit, and then you're down to normal. But particularly in a harder fight like this, that's going to be good. Now she's still at full health, so swinging her longsword is still at 4. She swings her longsword and hits the Dread Warrior with a 2, which it blocks. Look at that. This guy is sticking around. And yeah, she cast a spell and attack, so that's it for her. We are now at Mordecai, who is extremely close to where we are. And I guess he's going to get in there to help with that Dread Warrior. So his second Swift Wind move gets him a totally overkill. Oh my gosh, that's ridiculous. So that's 12, 16, 21. He is not going to be moving 21 spaces. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. What the heck? 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. And we'll just let him be there. Actually, you know what? He does attack better long range. 21. There you go. Utilizing all of that. Efficient. Okay, he is going to then cast a blast of energy from his Redwood Wand at the Dread Warrior, hitting it with a 2. Neither of which are defended, and because it was already damaged, it is dead. Oh, that's ridiculous. Ridiculous and hilarious. Okay, that takes us to Rana. She does not have anything to help boost her movement, so she's just got a lot of walking to do. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Okay, no monsters on the board. Excuse me, I don't know what that was. There we go. My body telling me that it needed a Mountain Dew break is what that was, I guess. Tiaga can now search this room for treasure now that the trap has been sprung. And this is a wild treasure, actually, and this is not something I added, just to defend myself, because this seems overkill to me. She just found 2 short swords and 2 long swords. So this was clearly some sort of armory that the monsters were keeping back for something. Nobody in the party needs any of these weapons right at the moment. 2 short swords and 2 long swords, which we'll just put in her item inventory, and we'll probably just sell all of that at the end of this quest. So short sword times 2, long sword times 2. Might be worth keeping the long swords for heroes later on that might benefit from them, but that's wild. That's a chest in the normal game. That's not something I added. Okay, and then on she moves. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Don't forget, of course, that in her demon form she can ignore pit traps, which is why we didn't roll anything there. Okay, Valerna. Secret doors or leave? She is leaving. 1, and she is opening the door into this sort of orangey room here. And in this orangey room here is a dread altar. So we're gonna put a carpet down here. Oh, and this is the neat, like, Mage of the Mirror Rise of the Dread Moon altar here. I like this alternate altar. The little crystal ball there and a skull. And that appears to be all. Valerna, are we searching for traps? Yes, she is. She stops to search for traps and discovers in the room 1 spear trap. Unavoidable. Right in front of the door. This puts us at Morkai. What does he have going on here? He's still... Oh, he's got an airwalk. He could actually just walk right past that trap without it being a big deal at all. Although a spear trap, honestly, isn't that big of a deal. Yeah, I don't think that's worth the airwalk. A pit trap, sure, but a spear trap's not really that big of a deal. This is going to be his final swift-winded movement. And we're going to get him into that room to see what's up with it. He then gets, what do we have? 10, 16 here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we're just going to have him attempt to jump this trap. He is unfortunately unsuccessful in that. The spear trap still hits him, even though he is supposed to be as swift as the wind. This requires him to end his movement, but it does not require him to end his turn. So he still has another action. Is he going to search for secret doors or treasure? Let's see, he likes secret doors, so we'll double weight that. Secret doors, or treasure? He is going for the treasure. Okay. The first hero to search for this treasure in this room will find 2 random spell scrolls on the sorcerer's table. Oh, the quest book didn't call it a dread altar. Can't get a hold of the pile of cards here. Okay, so kind of similar to when Justin redeemed the dread spell earlier. What am I doing? Oh, I see, I had the chat selected. We have a pile here of spell scrolls, and he just found 2 of them. I need to shuffle my randomizer deck here real quick. Sorry for the very aggressive noise. That's not very ASMR of me. I just killed Tiaga as well. Whoops. Okay, the first is going to be the 13th card. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and 13 is a pass-through rock spell scroll. Not the most handy thing anybody's ever found. And his second one is the 10th card. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10, which is a lightning bolt spell scroll. Cool, that's not a spell that they can get any other way. Now, spell scrolls are very interesting. I don't know that we've found them before, but I don't know that we've ever explained them. They allow any hero to cast spells, so even non-spellcasters can use these, and it casts the spell. And also, because it's an item, it doesn't count as an action to use it. So normally casting a spell would count as an action, but because these are scrolls, and it's the scroll causing the event to happen and not that the hero is casting something, it allows both of those things to be true. Non-spellcasting heroes can use them, and it doesn't take an action to use them. So very, very handy if you've got some good spell scrolls, and particularly for Mordecai, that lightning bolt scroll is going to be really handy if he happens to be looking at a whole line of monsters, because it would hit an entire line of monsters in a straight line. Okie dokie, that is it for him because he moved and searched for treasure, so that is going to put us back at Rana. Up here she is. I'm going to get rid of the extra movement dice now that we don't need that anymore. And Rana is just headed down towards everybody else. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. As it happens, this hallway she's standing in has not been searched for secret doors, so we'll go ahead and do that, although there are none. All right. No monsters on the board. Back to Tiaga. She is also just going to be moving along and seeing what she sees. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Let's actually switch cameras here. Now that she can see down this double wide hallway, we can reveal that there is also a door right here. And that is all she can see at the moment. Okay, she might as well search for either traps or secret doors in the double wide. She is going to do secret doors. Okay, this is a weird area. Okay, so this trap is going to apply to the entire double wide. Sorry, not trap. This search is going to apply to the double wide and also up this little area right here, because there's a wall here, and there's not really a good way to apply this to a searching area. So this secret doors is for the double wide and this tiny little jut out right here. No secret doors. Okay, that takes us to Valerna, who is also on camera right at the moment anyway. The only thing left to do in this room is secret doors, and there's really no reason for her to do it because Mordecai can do it. So let's just have her leave. Oh, you know what? She actually, we haven't searched for secret doors in this room, so let's do that. We'll start her off searching secret doors in the red room, and there are none. And then also, she's gonna move 1, 2, 3. She's back to that. Zuli is back. How's it going, Zuli? I assume you had to take your lunch break there. Been gone for so long that I don't know what I missed. Most of the quest, to be honest with you, but this quest hasn't been particularly eventful. We've had a couple of interesting things happen, but nothing huge. A couple of interesting battles, a couple of interesting spells cast, but nothing massive. All right, we are now at Mordecai, who is in here. As I mentioned, secret door is the only thing. I'll look back at the VODs later. Yes, absolutely. Good way to catch up on this sort of stuff. No secret doors in this room either. So we just kind of have one small collection of rooms left, and then we will be done with this quest as well. Mordecai is moving 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It's got to be weird for him to be moving at normal speed now. Nothing further he can do in this hallway. Everything's been searched in the long hallway. So we are now at Rana, who is still up there by herself. Yeah, she's up there. Just basically rolling to try and get back to everybody. 7's not totally terrible. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There we go. So she's getting close to the group. She's not super far behind, but hopefully she'll catch up to them. No monsters on the board again. So we are back to Tiaga the Warlock. So we need to determine, is she going to continue down this long hallway, or is she going to go up this new hallway that she discovered? So we've got a couple of things we need to do, because first off, she can either search for traps in this hallway or moves in one of the two directions. She is going to do the trap search here, and that's good because there is a falling boulder trap right next to her. And those are nasty. You don't want to do those on purpose. So now we know she needs to move. There's nothing else for her to do. She's only moving 5, but is she going this way, which will be a red card, or this way, which will be a black card? Looks like it is this way. Remember, in her demon form, she can ignore pit traps. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Off she heads down towards this green door. All right, Valerna the elf is in the red room there. And she is also coming down this way. She is just really not in a hurry. 1, 2, 3, and she can't take her 4th movement. Nothing else she can do. Yeah, so she also has a Swift Wind and also another spell called Rapid Movement, which is like a better Swift Wind. But there's really no reason for her to do that at this point. There's nothing she's trying to get to. Okay, Morkai. Now they are going to be locked behind these two traps. They can't ignore it like Tiaga can, so one of them is going to have to try and disarm. 1, 2. Okay, you know what? The pit trap is way better than the falling boulder trap, so regardless of whether he's going Tiaga's way or this way, we need to get rid of that pit trap. So let's go ahead and make an attempt at that. Morkai also has the toolkit disarm skill, which means he doesn't actually need a toolkit. He needs a shield of either color to successfully disarm, and he is indeed successful at, I assume, throwing some boards over top this pit trap so nobody falls in it. Awesome, good. After Tiaga failing at every trap she tried to disarm, that's kind of refreshing. And then over here we have Rana the dwarf, who is still on her way to catch up to everybody. Yeah, that's a good movement. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I'd say she's pretty much successfully caught up to the group there. Okay. I'm going to move this camera out of the way because probably the whole rest of the quest we can do with this camera. Okay, let's see if we can get Tiaga up to this room. No. 1, 2, 3, 4. Frustratingly close, but not quite. And there's nothing else can be searched in this hallway, so that is it for her. And we are back to Valerna the elf, who is, again, just barely moving. 1, 2, 3. Maybe we do need to Swift Wind her. Everything's been searched in both of the hallways she now can see, so nothing there. Morkai, are we going after Tiaga or up the double wide? He is going after Tiaga. So we'll send Valerna and Rana up the double wide. Morkai is moving 9. He might actually make it to that door. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yes, indeed. Just barely making it up to the door in the green room and opening it. There is a very, very, very exciting bunch of nothing that he can see. With his second action, is he going to search for traps or search for secret doors? And we're going to double weight secret doors because he likes secret doors. And indeed, he is searching for secret doors because he thinks this surely can't just be a dead end. It wouldn't just be an empty room, would it? Yes, indeed it is. No secret doors. And back to Rana the elf. The elf? Look, I don't even know what I'm talking about. Rana the dwarf. Moving 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. And like I said, we're going to send these two up to that kind of purpley room there. Okay, no monsters on the board, but I imagine we probably won't be staying that way for too much longer. We are now at Tiaga, who was headed towards that green room. Okay. The question is, now that they know that is a dead-end room, is she just going to let Morkai take care of it, or is she going to go in there? It seems silly to have both of them go in there when they know that there's nothing but a dead end. Unless there's a wandering monster, we're not going to need both of them in there. So maybe we ought to just have her go ahead and check out what's down this hallway. 1, 2, 3, 4. And down this hallway, we have a few things. I'm gonna go ahead and move my quest book out of the way. There is a wall up here right under my face cam, wall right here. The pathway does continue on this way. There is also a mummy standing up there in that corner. We're gonna use the Spirit Queen's Torment Fancy Mummy right here. There is also the exit door to the quest. Right there. Now remember, they didn't actually have to do anything in this quest. It was just find the exit and leave. So at this point, we're kind of just seeing what else is in here. They could just leave, but they're not low enough on body points to stop exploring. Now, is Tiaga going to stop right here and search this new hallway for traps? Yes, she is. They seem to have learned their lesson with that. However, there are no traps from her position to the mummy's position. Valerna the elf. Heading up towards that purpley room. And fast, finally. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Let's see what's in this room. There is an additional door. If I can get it in there. And that appears to be all. Isn't this weird, guys? I mentioned this a couple of times already, but this quest is so weird about its monster placement. There are a few rooms that are just totally packed with like a small army of monsters, and then all the rest of the rooms are like basically empty. So weird. I assume it's just because they're trying to give you this feeling that these tunnels are mostly abandoned. There's just nothing in them. Okay, Valerna. 1, 2, 3, 4. Is she going to stop and search for traps in the room? No, she is not, which is real dumb. So what is she doing? Either way, if she's moving into this room, she's going to step on this trap right here. There is a falling boulder trap right here, which seems to be the thing that the heroes keep repeatedly stepping on in this quest, which means she has to roll 3 dice. She, unfortunately, is very wounded by the falling boulders, losing 3 body points. That is the first damage she's taken this quest. Dropping her to 9 body points, forcing her forward 1, and putting an impassable wall in that square. Always search for traps. Okay, moving on, because that does force the end of her turn. That is all she can do. We are now at Mordecai, who is ready to head up into that green room. However, is he going to search for traps first? Nope, he sure isn't. And as always, it doesn't even matter what he rolls, because there is a trap right inside this doorway. This time, however, it's just a pit trap. At least it's not a falling boulder trap, or he would essentially be trapped in there. Let's see if he jumps over it. He does not. Unfortunately, he falls into the pit trap, losing 1 body point, dropping him to 7. Ouch. I don't need to say it again, right? I'm gonna. Always search for traps. Don't ever choose to not do it. But a lot of players don't. That's why we keep it in there. Rana the dwarf. 1, 2, 3. Is she going to stop and search this room for traps? Sure isn't. 4, 5, 6, and 7. Luckily, none of those squares are trapped. Now that she is in here, she has the ability to search for anything. She likes treasure, though. So, traps, secret doors, treasure, treasure. And she is indeed going for that treasure. Let's see what she finds. Rana finds herself drawn to a strange idol. She realizes that she is reaching for it, even though sudden pain grows as she gets closer. Roll a movement dice for each of your mind points. If you roll a 6, you manage to stop yourself from touching it. If you do not roll a 6, you lose 2 body points. This is a dread idol. How many mind points does she have? She has 3. So she has not a very good chance of resisting this magic. But she does. Look at that. A 6 right there. She resists touching the dread idol. Very nice. You gotta be careful with that stuff. Okay, no monsters. Oh, sorry. No, that is incorrect. There is indeed a monster on the board. This mummy up here. Not gonna make it to Tiaga, but it's gonna start on its way. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then we are right back to the Warlock. I'm going to take a drink real fast first, though. Okay, Tiaga, that mummy is now in range. She doesn't even need to move to try and hit that guy. And she attacks better at long range, so let's do it. She sends a blast of demonic power at the mummy, hitting it with a 1. Which the mummy defends. Man, it defended the crap out of that too. Look at that, 3 black shields. Okay, well, I guess, is it gonna, yeah, it'll close the space to her in the next monster's turn, so she might as well go up and kind of force it to come to her. What is her best move there? Yeah, honestly, just making the most forward momentum is her best move at the moment. So we'll just go ahead and stick her there. Okay. Ooh, you know what else I realized just now? Valerna had a rock skin spell active, which disappears if she takes damage, and she did. So that rock skin spell is gone now. Okay, Valerna, traps, secret doors, or leave the room. She is doing secret doors in this room, and there are none. Second action, traps or leave. She is also searching traps after she stepped on basically every relevant square. And indeed, the trap she stepped on was the only one in that room. Whoops. Mordecai. Now, he should probably try to disarm that trap. He has that pass-through rock spell or the airwalk that he could use to just automatically bypass it. That's probably the better option. Okay, so we're going to start his turn with movement. Now, we'll roll, but honestly, he doesn't need... he's just going to crawl out of the trap and onto that first square. Is he going to search now for traps or treasure? He's going to go traps in the room. And again, that pit trap was the only one. He would have seen it if he had searched first. On the next turn, he'll be able to do the treasure search and then either pass through rock out of here or he's got an airwalk spell that would let him ignore that going back out. And nobody else needs to come in here. We already know there's no secret doors. Rana. What's left in this room? This room is tapped out. Let's go ahead and move into the next room. 1, 2. Opening the door into the yellow room, we find an additional door. But nothing else. Now we've learned our lesson, right? I'm sure all the viewers have learned the lesson. The room appears to have nothing in it, which means there's gonna be... Right? But does she stop to search for it? Nope, she sure doesn't. Because where's the fun in playing strategically? No, indeed. Okay, she is going to move in, and either way, regardless of whether she was going to stop to search for something, she would be stopping on this square. And that square contains a falling boulder trap. Which means she is rolling 3 combat dice. She takes 2 damage from falling rocks, which drops her to 6 body points. Shoves her forward. Now we'll count forward as being this direction because that's the way she was walking. And puts an impassable wall right in the middle of that room. And that also force ends her turn. We're at the end of the quest. We're basically at the end. There's only like 2 more rooms to do. Oh, geez, guys. Search for traps. Don't walk into them like a moron. Okay, over here. The mummy is attacking Tiaga, swinging a fist, and hitting her with a 1, which she blocks. And we are right back to her. Does she have any tricks up her sleeve? She has that flaming sword spell. The spell causes the targeted hero's weapon to burst into magical flame, allowing the hero's next attack to be undefendable. The flame dissipates after 1 attack. Is that worth using on the mummy? This mummy is one of the more difficult easy monsters, and they have no idea whether or not, for all they know, it seems feasible that all the rest of the rooms in this quest are empty. So yeah, I think she is going to use that. Okay. Go ahead and says, if there's nothing there, then nothing there. There's nothing there. Come on. Yeah. Things are always exactly what they seem, without a doubt. Okay, let's go ahead and do it. Tiaga is going to cast Flaming Sword, which, as I just mentioned, makes the attack she is about to do undefendable by the mummy. Now she is close range, which means she is rolling 3 dice for this. She swipes claws at the mummy, hitting it with a critical hit of 3, and because the mummy cannot defend that, it is dead. Potentially catching on fire, since I guess her claws were on fire thanks to that spell. That's the way to go, Tiaga. She is then going to continue moving. She's definitely not exiting the quest yet. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, opening us up into this hallway. And in this new hallway, we are revealing the final door. So we got 2 rooms left to do. The blue room here, which we've got the door right here, and then this yellow room right here, which Tiaga just revealed. Now she moved 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. She's still got movement left, but is she gonna stop and search for traps? Oh, very nice. Rukoro put the critical hit emote. Yes. Hey, I bet you guys can't guess what she rolled. She drew, I'm not searching for traps, I'm just walking. Luckily, none of those 3 squares are trapped. She opens the door into the yellow room and discovers the last kind of big concentration of monsters. There are 4 skeletons. We almost got 4 in a single drawer here. Skeleton. 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 A mummy. Mummy. And a dread warrior. Okay, now Tiaga does not have an action left to attack or search for traps here. It would be strategically really stupid for her to walk into the room, so let's just leave her there. That brings us over to Valerna the elf, who is still standing in this purpley room. There's nothing left to search. Zully says, did you get to use the defense? We used one of them. Yes, Cody reminded me to use the defense potion on Mordecai, yeah. Okay, so she is moving. 1, now still nothing has been searched in this room, so is she gonna stop and search for traps? Yes, she is. And just like in that purpley room, the one that Rana stepped on is the only one that's in there. No other ones. Gohan says, strategy says stay out. Does a player say stay out? Not always. Definitely not always. That's a good point. I would if I were the player, but would a regular player? Even without prior knowledge of the map, I feel like if I opened that door, I would not walk her in there. Okay, so they now know no further traps in this yellowy room, thanks to Valerna searching for that. That brings us over to Mordecai, and the only thing left in the green room is a treasure search. Let's do that. Let's see what Mordecai found. Suddenly, the stone beneath his feet gives way. He falls into a shallow pit, losing 1 body point. Poor guy. He crawled out of one pit just to have the ground beneath him collapse and drop him into another one. Okay, that doesn't actually end his turn. He can do another thing. It would also be silly, so he could totally pass through rock into that room. But then he's just immediately going to get surrounded, and that, again, would not be good. He's still got 6 body points, which means he's probably fine. He's also got 2 potions of healing. He's probably fine. That is the room we want him in for sure, because he's still got lots of really handy spells. Gohan says, I say chaos goes in the room. Yeah, that's true. That's probably the way to go, isn't it? Go ahead and use up that pass-through rock spell and send him into that room. Put him in the corner so that only 2 of them can attack him, and also let him drink a potion of defense. His other potion of defense. Yeah, let's do it. We're doing it. Okay, now he's only got 1 action left, but the pass-through rock spell scroll is an item, not a spell, so it does not cost an action to use this. The targeted hero may move unaffected through walls, traps, and monsters on their next movement. If the hero ends their turn in an area of solid rock, they are immediately crushed and killed. Their items and equipment cannot be retrieved. This scroll crumbles to dust once used. So we know he's not going into an area of solid rock, so we don't have to worry about that. We can erase the pass through rock skill out of his inventory because he is using it. Again, because it's an item, it didn't cost an action, which means his second action is going to be this movement. 1, 2, 3, 4, which he can do that, just walking right through that wall. Also, before his turn is over, we are going to have him drink his other potion of defense. Again, it's an item, so using it is not an action. And that is going to give him 2 extra defense dice on the next time that he defends. So it's more of a security measure than anything else. And that is it for what he can do right at this moment. But he does have a bunch of really handy spells that should help clear this room out a little quicker. Rana the Dwarf just stepped on a trap, being a moron. Let's see what she's got going on now. Secret doors, treasure, or leave the room. She is doing the treasure in that room. Totally undaunted by the fact that she just got smashed in the face with a bunch of rocks. She searches for treasure and discovers a wandering monster, which of course in this quest is a dread warrior, which means she's going to get smashed in the face more times, I imagine. A dread warrior immediately appears and swings its mace at the dwarf, hitting her with a 1. That could have been worse, which she blocks. Now she does have a second action. All she's done is search for treasure, so she can retaliate, swinging her battle axe at the dread warrior and hitting it with a 2. It does not block, taking both points. It's still not dead, but it's pretty damaged. Zuli says, no! Yeah, this is bad news, isn't it? Okay, that brings us to the monster's turn. Now, the Dread Warrior can attack again, but this whole room full of utter nonsense definitely can. Let's send the big bad up here first. Dread Warrior on Tiaga. Swings its mace and hits her with a 2. Which she doesn't block. I kind of figured she wouldn't. She blocked 1, but not the other. This drops her to 7 body points and steals from her her demon form. She's still able to get it back if she kills a monster, but for now, she is back to regular old warlock. Okay, and also we have a couple of monsters attacking Mordecai as well. I would say these 2 skeletons that are basically right next to him make the most sense. Skeleton number 1 swings its scythe, hitting him with a critical hit of 2. Now normally he defends with 3, but that potion of defense gives him an extra 2, and he manages to block them both. All right, go potion of defense. Definitely handy investment. Skeleton number 2 walks up to him and also swings its scythe, missing him entirely. Boy, he got real lucky there. Okay, this takes us back to the beginning of the hero's turn where we find ourselves at Tiaga. What kind of stuff does she have for this guy? Hey, she's got a fear spell that would probably be pretty helpful in this situation. Let's do that. She is going to start her turn by casting Fear on the Dread Warrior. This spell causes any one monster to become so fearful that their attacks are reduced to 1 attack dice. The spell can be broken on a future turn by rolling 1 movement dice for each of their mind points. If a 6 is rolled, the spell is broken. We'll go ahead and stick this right here for now just so that we remember that Chaos Warrior has been severely nerfed unless it can break that spell on the next monster's turn. She is also going to attack. However, close range, she does a little bit less. She swings her wooden staff at the Dread Warrior, hitting it with nothing. She missed. She's not very good with the staff. She's got a lot more experience with long range. At least she got that spell off. That's going to be helpful. Moving down here, we are at Valerna, who basically just needs to get in there and help out with that Dread Warrior. Rolling 1, 2, 3, which has been her whole thing this quest, rolling nothing but 3s. The only spell she has is stuff to help her move faster, which she probably should have been doing this quest. So let's see what she can do. She is swinging her long sword, which is 3 dice now that she's not at full health, hitting the Dread Warrior with also nothing. Total miss. Oh, heroes, don't start now. We're in the final stretch. You gotta hit good. Mordecai. Now, I mentioned he's got several really helpful spells, but they would probably be wasted on a skeleton. Well, Fire of Wrath wouldn't. Ah, Zuli redeemed a potion of strength. Awesome. Who's that going to, Zuli? We'll wait and see. Let's get Mordecai casting some spells here. This is going to be beneficial for him. Anyone, let's give that to Rana. We'll give that to our new dwarf hero, just to give her a little bit of an edge when she's about to attack here. We'll do that. Mordecai is going to start his turn by casting Fire of Wrath at the skeleton right in front of him. Flames shoot from his fingertips and engulf the skeleton. The skeleton attempts to throw off the magical flames and is not successful, burning up. Yes! He is also able to follow that up with an attack, swinging the wizard staff artifact at the other skeleton and hitting it with a 1. Oh, but it blocked. I thought he was going to take out both. That was still pretty cool, though. Okay, that brings us to Rana, who is immediately drinking a potion of strength before she attacks, swinging a battle axe at the Dread Warrior and hitting it with a 5. Hey, that's the way to go. Okay, this Dread Warrior was already damaged. That is a skilled strike on a Dread Warrior, which I don't know if that's happened at any point in Midnight Quest yet. Skilled strike on a Dread Warrior. That guy is super dead. Get out of here. Gotta love it. Brand new hero, first ever quest, gets a skilled strike on a really hard monster. Let's go. Yes, 100%. And then she might as well spend the other action of her turn searching this room for secret doors. There are none. So we're almost there. Okay, that brings us to the monster's turn. No threats in this room anymore, so we've just got this big old mess to deal with. Let's start this by seeing if the Dread Warrior can throw off the Sphere spell. How many mind points do Dread Warriors have? 3. So not a very good chance of throwing the spell off. Let's see. We're going to roll 3 movement dice, and the spell is broken if any one of these dice is a 6. No, that Dread Warrior is still very scared of the little tiny warlock that he just took out of demon form. The Dread Warrior attempts to attack, but misses. Very nice. Okay, over here we have a skeleton on Mordecai, swinging its scythe and also missing him. The dice have turned against the heroes and the monsters at this point, and we have 3 other monsters who could come attack Mordecai. Let's go ahead and roll a dice to see. Is it going to be the mummy, this skeleton, or that skeleton? It is going to be the middle skeleton. 1, 2, coming over to Mordecai and also swinging its scythe, hitting him with a 1. Mordecai does not block the attack, dropping him to 5 body points. Now that's a little scary, but he does have 2 potions of healing, so the odds of him dying are extremely slim, except for that I just jinxed it by saying that. Okay, that actually brings us back to the hero's turn, which means we are back to Tiaga. Let's see if she can get some more damage on this guy. First, we are going to move her a little bit because she attacks better at long range. She sends a blast of energy from her Redwood Wand at the Dread Warrior, hitting it with a critical hit of 3. Very nice, Tiaga. The Dread Warrior defends 1, so it's not dead, but it is almost there. That was a really, really good hit. It is down to 1 body point now, but not dead. She moved and attacked, so we are now on to Valerna, who is going to open this door. So I guess we got to get rid of this fear spell. We'll go ahead, we'll put it in the green room instead. Okay, Valerna is opening the door into the blue room. And the only thing that appears to be in this blue room is a chest. Anybody want to take any guesses as to what else is in this room? There's no monsters. An empty room with a chest. I bet you could make, you guys probably wouldn't even need 3 guesses. Speaking of what else you wouldn't need guesses for, is Valerna going to search this room for traps before she walks into it? Oh my gosh, she is. That's actually mind-boggling at this point. Valerna searches this room for traps and discovers no less than 2 falling boulder traps, one of which... Oh no, they're actually both avoidable. I thought one of them was right in the doorway, but I was wrong. 2 falling boulder traps in this room, one right here, and one right here. Believe it or not, the chest is not trapped. Okay, Valerna, second action. Are we searching for secret doors? Excuse me, or moving in there? She is also going to do the secret door search. And there are no secret doors in there, confirming this is indeed the last room. So just the blue room, the yellow room left. That brings us over to Mordecai, who is again finding himself in battle with a couple of skeletons. On this turn, I do believe he is going to cast Rock Skin on himself, which gives him an extra defense dice until he takes any sort of damage. It's going to help him with getting hit twice. And then he is going to attempt to kill one of these skeletons. Let's see, which one is he going after? Yeah, the one I just turned him to face. He swings the wizard staff at the skeleton, but misses, unfortunately. That brings us over to Rana, who might as well go up there and search for treasure as long as she gets a decent roll. And she didn't. Okay, well in that case we'll leave the treasure for Valerna. 1, 2, 3, and we'll start moving Rana back towards this battle. Monster's turn. Over here, we're going to again roll to see if the Dread Warrior can break the fear spell. If any one of these 3 dice is a 6, it has successfully broken the spell. But it has not. It is still very scared. It is, however, going to continue moving towards her, swinging its mace meekly and hitting her with a 1. She blocks. Okay, we're going to go ahead and leave these other monsters in here for the sake of attacking Mordecai as he continues to kill monsters, theoretically. Skeleton number 1 hitting him, but misses. And skeleton number 2 also swinging a scythe and hitting him with 1. His rock skin grants him 1 extra defense dice. He still doesn't manage to block that 1. That's wild. This drops him to 4 body points and breaks the rock skin spell. That's kind of crazy. I mean, he's still in good shape, but it is crazy. Okay, that brings us back to Tiaga the Warlock fighting the Dread Warrior up there. We are going to again move her 1 just because she attacks better at long range. She sends a blast of energy from her Redwood Wand at the Dread Warrior, hitting it with a 2. It does not block. That means that it is dead. Tiaga is also able to consume the essence of the Dread Warrior, regaining the ability to cast her Demon Form spell, which she's not going to do right now because she would almost surely lose it. Oh yeah, she doesn't have the action to either because she moved. But she's got the spell back for next turn. Okay, Valerna, can we get up to the chest? Yes, finally she rolled something better than a 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. Valerna searches this room for treasure. Let's see what's in the chest. Believe it or not, 2 potions of healing are in that chest. Let me, we're gonna grab the treasure deck that has not, this is not the discard pile, this is the regular treasure deck. We're gonna turn it upside down and we're just gonna grab the first 2 potions of healing that we see. I should have pulled these out at the, before the stream, but for some reason I did not see them on the quest map. So every time they find potions of healing in a quest, it takes them out of the treasure deck. So there are always a set number of potions of healing in play unless you guys gift them. This is the only way that the heroes can get more than the max, I think might be 24 potions of healing total that can be in play at once. And that was Valerna that found those. Okay, so 2 potions of healing going into her inventory. And that is going to end her turn. Mordecai could probably use a potion of healing right about now. He's got a genie spell which would be handy, but I'd really like to use that on the mummy. Let's see if he can get rid of one of these skeletons and then cast that spell at the mummy. He swings the wizard staff at the skeleton in front of him, hitting it with a 1. The skeleton does not defend. All right. Zuli redeemed gift a potion of healing. Awesome. Anybody in particular, or just whoever is lowest? To the one who needs it. That would indeed be Morkai. We'll go ahead and heal him up 4 now. 1, 2, 3, 4. Puts him back up to 8. I am sure that is appreciated. Okay, that frees him up to cast the genie spell at the mummy. Now this is the same as last time we cast it, but just in case somebody's watching now that wasn't before. A genie appears in front of Morkai, and he directs it at that mummy, which is this one right here. The genie immediately attacks the mummy, hitting it with a 2, which is enough to kill it if it doesn't defend. But it does, blocking both hits. Well, it was a good idea. It was a good strategy. It just didn't work. Oh yeah, we can get rid of the fear spell now that that monster is dead. Okay, and then that brings us to Rana the Dwarf, who is just moving, at this point, probably moving to the exit. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, because with these garbage rolls she keeps getting, she's not going to get to this battle before it's over. Okay, that brings us to the monster's turn. So let's send, will the mummy make it? 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, the mummy can get to Tiaga. So can the skeleton. So we'll randomize that. Okay, which one of these monsters is going for Tiaga? It's going to be the skeleton. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Skeleton swings a scythe at Tiaga, hitting her with a 1. And she does not block, taking that hit and dropping her to 6 body points. And then we have poor Morkai here, although he just got healed, so he's probably totally fine here. Skeleton attacking him, swinging a scythe, hitting him with a critical hit of 2. He blocks. 1, 2, 3. The mummy approaches and swings a fist at the wizard, hitting him with 2. He blocks 1, but not the other, dropping him to 7 body points. I guess that kind of makes sense. He just cast that genie spell at the mummy, and the mummy was like, excuse me? Well, the mummy's face is all wrapped and stuff, so it was probably more like, excuse me? Stupid joke, sorry. We are back to Tiaga. And we're gonna do the same thing she was doing to the Dread Warrior. It seems like she's backing away from the battle, but she attacks better at long range. She sends a blast of energy from the Redwood Wand, hitting the skeleton with a 2. And it does not defend, it is dead. Gohan says, like Kenny. Yeah, exactly. Hopefully Morkai doesn't die like Kenny. Although he's got enough potions of healing to be back in the next episode like Kenny. Okay, and that is the end of her turn. Even though I'd like to get her back in the room, she moved and attacked. So that is it for her. It is now Valerna, who kind of similarly needs to just get to that battle. Let's cast her a Swift Wind here too, just so that she can get there a little faster. So Valerna, the elf, is using a Swift Wind, which is going to allow her to use double the movement dice for the next 3 turns. And her first movement is indeed going to be right now. Guess I should have just kept these dice out. See how much she moves. We got 10, 16, 18 is what she is moving. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, and 18. So she still didn't quite get there, but she got a lot closer than Rana has managed to. And we are now at Morkai. Now the only spell Morkai has left is Sleep, and that will not affect undead monsters. He's got that Lightning Bolt spell scroll, but that probably would be wasted unless he starts really struggling. So Tiaga will be able to get back in here and help him. Let's see if he can get rid of the skeleton, only because he's more likely to kill that one. So obviously we want to get rid of the mummy because it's the bigger threat, but at least he won't be getting hit by 2 monsters at once if he can kill the easier one. He swings the wizard staff, but misses. And it was a good idea. That brings us over to Rana the Dwarf, who is again just kind of like Valerna trying to get over there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We're going to send her up this way just because nobody's been up that way. Nothing new to reveal. There isn't anything new up here, but we'll send her up there. In fact, we'll even search for secret doors, just so that we can say we did. There aren't any. But now we know we saw somebody actually search it. That takes us to the monster's turn, where we have 2 monsters attacking our wizard. We'll do the skeleton first, swinging a scythe and hitting him with a 1. Which he blocks, just barely. And the mummy, swinging a fist and hitting him with a 2. Which he manages to block. All right. Go Mordecai. This is going to bring us up to Tiaga the Warlock, who is going to move back towards that room. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now, she could cast her demon form to give her an extra combat dice, but then she wouldn't get to attack this turn. So let's just go ahead and let her attack first. Sending a blast of energy at the mummy with her redwood wand and hitting it with a 2. That's enough to kill it if it doesn't defend. But it does. It defends one, but not the other. So it takes a point of damage. Very nice. This is going to take us to Valerna, who still has Swift Wind. This is going to be her second Swift Wind at a 3. And she rolls, oh my gosh, 12, 17, 18. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, and 18. Again, almost making it to the battle, but not quite getting there. She'll get there next turn, though, for sure. All right, Mordecai, same strategy as last time. His only spell will not affect either of these monsters, so he's going to try and get rid of the easier one at least. Swinging the wizard staff, hitting that skeleton with a critical hit of 2. The skeleton does not block either one. Dead. Double dead, because it was dead already. Is there any benefit to him moving? No, the mummy is probably going to catch him either way. He could totally use that lightning bolt scroll to just destroy the mummy and then it's done, but that lightning bolt scroll could be used for so many better applications. Nah, let's leave it. We got like basically the whole team converging on this location. He's not in dire straits, so we'll leave him there. Ooh, actually no searching has been done in the room. He can totally utilize the second action. Traps or secret doors. He's going for secret doors in this room. There are none. Okay, and Rana is right over here. Moving right along. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. She can't make the 10th movement. However, she did make it up there enough to shoot at the mummy. Loading an arrow into her crossbow, she fires, hitting the mummy with a 1, which means she landed the killing blow on, theoretically, the last monster in the quest. That is a way to start your first ever quest, isn't it? Now, as long as they don't find a wandering monster on the treasure search, that was basically it. Okay, no monsters on the board. We are back to Tiaga, and she needs to either search for traps or treasure. She's going for the treasure. Let's see what she finds. A potion of healing. Okay, I didn't expect there to be another one of those so close up to the top of the deck. So we'll go ahead and stick the potion of healing there in her inventory. And then she can spend her other action to search for traps, discover that there are none in this room, and that is going to wrap up the quest for tonight, because then they can all just roll to get back into that exit door. Awesome. It's very nice. Let's do some quest cleanup and we'll talk about what the heroes get for successfully completing a quest, and then we will get out of here for tonight. All right. That was an interesting quest for sure. Kind of felt nice to fly through it a little bit. Considering some of the quests we've had recently have been really long and really kind of convoluted. It's nice to just like jump right through one. Knock it out. Oh geez, what? I've already started putting stuff away. Well, I guess we're not done. You're killing me, man. So evil for that, yes. We'll be fine. It'll be interesting. They still all have a pretty good amount of body points. You do just have to pick one, though. Who's this monster attacking? Let's see what the monster is going to be. Our options at this point are Dread Warrior, Chaos Warrior, Doomguard, Gargoyle, or Ogre. Oh, you're right. It's 3 a.m. It's technically cutoff time. Savannah says I tried to do it before you stopped talking, but I wasn't fast enough. Okay, we'll do it as a kind of a quick one. So 3, 1, 2, 3. That would be Chaos Warrior. We ended up ending this quest like at the perfect time. LOL. Okay, we'll randomize the hero. Not my glorious Rana, she's new. This is true. We can't let the Chaos Warrior attack her. Anybody other than her. Who is third in the lineup? I think that was Morkai. Chaos Warrior on Morkai. Hits him with a 2. And he doesn't block. Clearly the heroes also thought we were done. Okay, but with that, the only hero we had actually done was Tiago. She moved or used both of her actions, and then this Chaos Warrior attacked. So we are now at Valerna, and she did technically have another Swift Wind. So 7 and 7, so 14. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And she attacks the same long range and close range, so there's no reason for her to actually go up there. Shooting at the Chaos Warrior, she totally misses, because that's what we want. And then it takes us to Rana, and actually she does attack better at close range, so let's get her in there. Rana swings the battle axe at the Chaos Warrior, hitting it with a 3. She can't be stopped, my friends. One shot. It wasn't a skilled strike, but still, hit it with 3. It didn't defend a thing. It only has 3 body points. Rana is impressing on her first ever quest, and now we're done. All right, we're done. Nobody redeem anything else. We're done now. Yeah. Savannah says Gromina was her mentor. Yeah, clearly the female dwarves in Midnight Quest do not screw around. I'm still expecting to hear that noise, the redeem noise. I'm expecting to hear at any moment. But cards are put away now. Okay, it's all right. It would actually be a pain in the butt to continue at this point. Zully says, let's go, my beautiful Rana. Yes, she is doing it. Okay, we've got some weird stuff to do. So we've got the gold that the heroes earn for completing quests. We've got skill sets, but also we've got some stuff that we need to sell off that the heroes managed to find during the quest that we are not gonna need. Zully says, Luke got PTSD from the redeeming. I really do. Tonight was the first night that things kind of weren't just like total chaos with the redeems, which is fine. Again, they're there so that you guys can use them. I don't at all want to make that out that I'm like criticizing the fact that the quests have been a little bit chaos since we put them there. That's why we put them there. So that's not a complaint. Oh gosh. Yeah, I knew it. Okay, I hate to do it for one person and not for somebody else, but I already put this stuff away. Well, save that one for next time, Gohan, if the both of us remember. Because I don't want you to just waste the channel points either. Okay, so we need to sell the Potion of Warmth that Tiaga found. Actually, all of the crap we need to sell off is Tiaga's. Yeah, 100%. So the Potion of Warmth is 75 coins. Merlin says, Zully says, this is evil. Gohan says, I don't care, I've got plenty. Savannah says, no, you have to do it. Zully says, I'll be the reminder. It's super dead, yes. We did get a couple of new animated emotes, by the way, for the people who are subscribed. You can check that out. The thing that Zully just put in the chat is one of the animated emotes. It says super dead and it jumps at the screen. The other one is me blowing my nose, which, you know, is premium content. Okay, we've got 3,975 coins right at the moment. We are going to add the 75 for the Potion of Warmth that she is selling. And I also need to remember to take the card out. There it is. Put that in the discard pile. She also found 2 short swords and 2 long swords in a chest, and we don't need any of that. I think we might keep one of the long swords. Basically, for next time we get a new hero, she can pass off the longsword rather than us having to buy something fancy. But we're going to sell off both of the short swords and one of the long swords. So that's going to get us 150 coins for... That's going to get us 150 coins for the 2 short swords. And then for the long sword, we're getting 175. Zuli says, Luke, an earthquake happened in my area because of you blowing your nose. Oh no. Oh, I wasn't responsible for anybody's deaths, right? But my nose is big enough that I would believe that. Okay, and then of course, surviving heroes get 50 coins apiece for surviving the quest. So that's also 200 coins just for quest completion. So that's going to put us up to 4,575 total. And again, I know that sounds like a lot. 4,575. Those are still going to be those are going to be flying straight out of the pocket when we get tier 2. And I think a couple of heroes do have tier 2. We just haven't had any yet where we've had enough coins to buy. There's some stuff in the tier 2 armory that we still don't even have enough coins to buy. So that it definitely seems like a lot, but it's not gonna be overkill. Okay, the other thing that we've got to do, of course, is skill sets. For completing a quest, each hero gets 2 skill set points, which they must use immediately. There are 6 skill set categories, 10 levels in each category. There is not a benefit for every level gained, but there's always something good for maxing out any particular category, sorry. And also, all of the different hero classes benefit from these levels differently. So let's just go through them one by one. First is going to be Tiaga. I'm going to go ahead and erase all the damage in her body points. And also, this was her 11th ever quest. That puts her a little behind everybody else. We need to get her up more on par. Her first point tonight is going to be Combat Level 7. Combat for a Warlock is a weird thing to be building. And level 7 has no benefit. She doesn't get anything in combat until level 9, which is going to give her access to the broadsword, which will help her a lot. Her second level tonight is going to be Constitution Level 2. Constitution increases your body points. This was desperately needed, I think. Level 2 is an extra body point, so this is going to put her max up to 11. Good. She definitely needed that. Okay, I forgot to erase the stuff we sold too. Potion of Warmth, the 2 short swords, and 1 of the long swords. And we're going to let her just keep that other long sword in her inventory until somebody needs it. So if somebody loses their weapon, or if we get a new hero, she's got that long sword she can gift to them. Or if she just holds on to it for too long, we'll sell it. All right, Valirna, our elf. She did really good this quest. Other than not searching for traps, which kind of everybody was at fault for that, she barely got hit. This was her 12th quest, and she's been around for a long time. The only thing she did kind of garbage in this quest was she just barely moved. She rolled 3 for movement. I don't know, it's probably unfair to say 50% of the movement rolls she made, but it was pretty close to that. She barely moved the whole freaking quest. Okay, her first point tonight is going to be Machinery Level 2. Machinery has to do with disarming traps, and Level 2 is nothing for her, but she will get Toolkit Disarm at Level 3. Her second point is going to be Magic Memorization Level 5. That is good for her, for sure. Magic Memorization for the Elf Level 5 is Pick 2 Spells. Awesome. So she's cutting down on the amount of her spells that are random. She gets to pick 2 of them by name. Awesome. That'll be good for her. Mordecai. He's also one of our kind of newer heroes. So he's been on a lot less quests than everybody else, but he is always a benefit in every quest he's been in. He pulled some cool moves tonight. This was his 9th quest. Julie says elves are just elves. She's serving face, not serving battle. Yes, she fights with elegance, not brutality. She's just got that aura. Yes. Agreed. I'm getting all of our eraser junk off of here. Okay, Mordecai. His first point tonight is going to be magic skill level 2. He's also been like building combat for some reason, which is weird. So magic skill level 2 is good. For a wizard, that isn't anything. His first benefit in magic skill comes at level 4, but it's access to tier 2 spells, which would be really, really good for him. So hopefully he'll keep building that. And indeed, his second point is going to be magic skill 3. So again, that's nothing, but he is building towards getting those better spells, which is going to be good. And finally, we have our brand newbie, Rana Ruvan, the new female dwarf, who I would say did absolutely fantastic. If there is any critique I have, it's just that she wasn't searching for traps before she walked into areas. And that's random, you know what I mean? But that's what it is. She did not search for traps almost at any point in the quest. In fact, I'm even going to change her personality because we have a thing that kind of indicates how often she searches for traps, which at first we do a random roll for the personality, and she got equal, but clearly she is more concerned with battle than she is searching for traps. So we're going to go ahead and change that because that seems to be how she's going. This was her first quest ever, of course, and we need to mark the randomization. Magic skill and magic memorization aren't going to do much for her. Education would be a good thing for her. Okay, there we go. So her first point tonight is going to be, give me a card we can use, combat level 1. Again, she seems to be more concerned with battle than safety. Combat level 1 for a dwarf is an increase in base defense. Amazing. This is going to make her base defense 2. Now, her base defense is the number of dice she throws if she does not have any armor on. Gwen says, Gramina was like, if you go in and just hit them really hard, it doesn't matter. Yeah, and Gramina would know. So she'll still be throwing 2 dice even if she's not wearing armor. However, defense works a little different than attack does. The armor you get builds on your base defense. So because her base defense went up, her actual normal number of defense dice also goes up to 5. Dwarves are tough. Dwarves are hard to hit, so they have naturally high defense dice. So even though she's brand new, she is going to be hard to hit. She's a tank. She's a good plug for the doorway because it's hard to hit her. Her second point is going to be magic skill level 1, which is a little weird, but whatever. Maybe she's interested in the mystical arts. I'm sure that's nothing. That is correct. So in order to get spells, she needs to combine magic skill level 3 with magic memorization level 4, and then she will get 1 spell. True, yes, 1 in 26 says hard to hit, more like hard to damage. He's been lurking. Gwen says a little fire never hurts. Very good point. Very good point. Yeah, we haven't upped their evasion. We've upped the level of either parry or just like shrugging off a hit. Good point. Okay, that is going to do it for us tonight. We are almost... Oh, awesome. 1 in 26 says playing Deep Rock while listening. Hey, nothing better. That's the way to go. That's awesome, man. Glad you're here. We are almost through book 3. So there are 2 more quests in this book before we are moving on to book 4, which means we are almost at the finale. So tomorrow night, there will be a painting stream. Yeah, tomorrow is Sunday, so Savannah's going to be down here painting. I imagine she's going to be working on the First Light dragons, or at least one of them. It wouldn't surprise me if one of these dragons takes up an entire stream. And I think she was saying that too. So that's probably what she's going to be. So that's going to be an exciting painting episode. So definitely come hang out with Savannah tomorrow at midnight while she works on painting the first dragon that she's going. You there says still going. Almost. We're basically done. We're just wrapping it up now. So Savannah's going to be painting tomorrow, and then Monday we will be back with Quest 9. What's going on in Quest 9? I believe there's another boss. I think Quest 9 is the Cassandria quest. Yeah, sure is. So we're going to be dealing with another one of the Witch Lord's kind of big deal lieutenants, Cassandria, which Savannah did a really good paint job on. I think she painted Cassandria on stream too. And then Tuesday night, we will be facing off against the Witch Lord. So we know for sure that on Tuesday night, Gramina is going to be on the quest because she's the one with the Spirit Blade. She's the only one who can kill the Witch Lord. She's the only one who can damage him. So she's definitely guaranteed for Tuesday night's quest. And gosh guys, I am so excited to see that fight because the Witch Lord was also the boss of Book 1 and she one-shot him. That's what made her a superstar. Gramina is the chat's favorite, especially Gohan, because, well, I mean, she's been just awesome ever since that quest. But one-shot that boss like he was absolutely nothing. He's supposed to be this big bad threat, and she just walked in there and tapped him and he was gone. So we get the rematch of the century on Tuesday night. So long as Monday night's quest doesn't end up being a two-parter, which I'm hoping it won't. You there says she should very much hope Ragnar doesn't show up for that quest. Yeah. Go ahead and says, what gave you that idea? No. Gramina is just the all-around best. She's the star of the show, I think. We need like a custom emote just for her, somehow, some way. So yes, that is what we are doing. Don't forget, if you happen to be watching and you're not following, please consider doing so. Really helps us out a lot, and we are literally doing this every single night of the week. So if you enjoyed what you saw and what you heard here tonight, there will be plenty more of that to come. Plus, this channel serves a dual purpose. I am doing these quests on Monday, Tuesday, Friday, and Saturday nights. My wife Savannah is doing painting streams where she's painting these miniatures and the furniture and boards and all sorts of stuff on Sunday and Wednesday nights. And then on Thursday nights, we do creative kind of hangout, a lot more loose, discussing things like lore and game mechanics and things like that. It's a lot of fun on Thursday nights as well. So literally every single night of the week at midnight Eastern time, we are here doing this. If you are curious about the story so far, you can also check out our YouTube channel, Midnight Quest Game, over on YouTube. The channel name really is just Midnight Quest, but if you search Midnight Quest Game, we seem to come up a little bit more towards the top. All the previous quest episodes, painting streams, and daily shorts over there on YouTube. We got all the daily shorts also on Facebook Reels and on TikTok, so check us out on all the stuff. Pinned comment will send you to our Discord. We've got all the good stuff rolling on where we are building an amazing community where we're talking in there pretty much all the time about different stuff that's going on. Not even just related to the game, just all the good stuff. You there says you should be posting links as you talk about it. Good point. I need to get a nice copy paste in here that'll make that easy. Or a mod who can be doing that while I'm talking. Either way, that would be handy for sure. Totally agreed. So Savannah will see you guys here tomorrow night for painting some dragons, and I will see you again on Monday night for the next quest. Thank you all so much for watching, whether you've been here the whole time or whether you've just tuned in or whether you've just been kind of in and out. I appreciate literally every second of time that you guys spend watching this. It means a lot to me, it means a lot to Savannah when she's streaming. Thank you guys, because this has been absolutely amazing. We will catch you guys next time on Midnight Quest.